Bossy, and there's one of the superstars for Brisbane, Tommy Rockcliffe.
Well, when you talk about their core, the next generation of leaders that are coming through the club, Tommy Rockcliffe, Rich and Redden, they're the guys that have played between 60 and 70 games now, got that experience, and they get plenty of the ball.
Oh, Tommy Rockcliffe, he's exactly what you want out of a midfielder. He's tough and hard, he goes forwards and kick goals. Redden the same, really good midfielder, works hard. Daniel Rich, a great user of the ball, has really struggled with the tag though, and I think he'll get Clint Jones again tonight now that opposition sides know he does struggle with that, but he's got to learn some new tricks. He's got to push through that. If he wants to become an A-grader, he needs to deal with the tag.
And when we talk about redeveloping teams, we look for their young talent, and certainly young talent at the Saints is led by Jack Stevens. He's been a very good player, had big numbers last week in a disappointing week, averages 6 clearances.
Well, him and Nick Rewald have been the standouts this year, but this fella's getting plenty of the ball. 36 touches last week. He's had a massive last 4 to 6 weeks, so he'll need to have a big night tonight if Nick Rewald and Tommy Lee are going to get enough supply to kick a winning score.
Yeah, absolutely. Time for a break here at the Gabba. Perfect conditions here in Brisbane for a massive night. Round 19. It's the Brisbane Lions and the Saints. When we come back, Matty Campbell will be calling all the action of the first bounce.
Welcome back to the Gabba on this Saturday night as the players get ready for what should be an interesting game. Round 19 has been an interesting one already with a couple of upsets, but let's get down to ground level. The man who'll be joining us tonight, Lee Colbert.
Yes, g'day Matty. Yeah, perfect conditions here. Really looking forward to this one. Pierce Hanley's been a shining light for the Brisbane Lions, and so has Matty Leuenberger, been outstanding this year, and probably the one player of the Brisbane Lions team who could actually be in all-Australian contention. So looking forward to seeing how he goes tonight. And both of these teams, actually, as we look at the captains now, and there we see Brent Staker actually in his 150th game. A nice touch. Rewalt actually winning the toss. So back to you, Matty.
Yeah, Rewalt winning the toss, and St Kilda will kick to the left of screen. Matty Leuenberger just been really, really good. Third in the AFL hit-outs to advantage, but he can find the footy and he can use the footy, and you've run across the oval, boys. Good to see you both fit.
It's fair to say I'm not in the nick I used to be, that's for sure, but looking forward to this one. As Scotty Waters said, he's going to stay true to his lineup for the future. We're just going to see who steps up for the Saints. I mean, they've got some good young players, but who's going to step up to potentially go to that next level?
Well, they do enjoy a good record against the Brisbane Lions. They've won the last 4 games by the margins of just between 13 and 16, so they've all been close games. But Scotty Waters did say during the week, that's in the past. This is a different group of players right here, right now. There's a lot of inexperience here.
Yeah, he's going to play Reece Stanley forward tonight as well, so I thought he would have been just about a cert to start back if Brisbane go tall with Merritt and Brown, and maybe even Staker goes forward tonight as well, just to try and stretch him. But he knows he's in the midst of a rebuild, and it could be even worse next year. They've probably got some senior players on that list that might retire or move on at the end of the year, so the sooner he gets some good kids in there, the better.
Well, that's right. That is probably the concern, that Nick Rewald is by far and above their best players still.
And you're right, Alistair, 3 tall forwards for Brisbane: Merritt, Staker and Brown.
Yeah, well, I think that was always going to be the tactic. When you come up against the Saints, we know they've got some injury concerns and probably list management concerns about having that experienced big body defender, and you're going to try to stretch them. The only thing, though, is if you go big in the forward line, if they don't catch it,
you got to mark it.
Yeah, you got to mark it. Otherwise, you just slow defenders from the forward 50. So there's the forward half. The big job for Zorko would be to protect Merritt, Staker and Brown at ground level. So when it hits the ground, he's got to tackle and defend.
So Gary goes to Zorko too. He gets the job on Zorko, the dangerous small forward, and Roberton, first back up from concussion as well, has got the big job on
He's got Merritt, and Simpkin goes to Brown, and there's Zorko and Geary, and at the other end you've got Patfall has gone to Nick Rewalt. And Patfall's had a good year once again.
Yep.
Nick Revolt's been their best.
Underrated player.
Patfall, best and fairest winner last year for the Lions. Has been a star since coming up off the Port Adelaide list.
Leuenberger and McAvoy to do battle. McAvoy winning the knock as the game is underway here at the Gabba. Rich, a little quick handball to Golby. Smother was a good one from Jones. Golby has to go a second time. Rains back. Straightening up Harwood. That's not 15 metres. That'll be play. Well, it should have been play on, but Leuenberger decides he'll take it and go anyway. And confusion there from the Lions. Not a lot of communication. Adcock overruns it. Nervous start from the skipper. Jones going back with a bit of time. No one comes near him. Gets onto that left boot and sends them inside forward 50. Lee up. Ball down. Yo wants the boundary, finds it.
Adcock got a knock to the head, and he's just got himself off the ground. And see here the head-high contact, and just see where it comes. He gets a decent old crack. It's the left knee from Stanley.
Yeah.
So they sting a little. Looks like he hasn't been split open, so that's a bonus.
He won't fumble next time, will he?
That's right.
He's in there trying to tackle Revolt as we speak. Ball spills free. Pat for a little toe poke. Solid attack on the footy. That came from Dempster. And hard to get free, as you'd expect early in the game.
So Clint Jones has gone to Daniel Rich. We've got Rains on Jack Stephen as well. So a couple of tags out there early on in the game.
And probably the ones we expected as Rich gets involved, gets a 1-2 from Leuenberger. There's that wonderful left leg. Look at that kick. Doesn't get much better than that, to the advantage of Merritt, who's right on his distance, decides to hit it into the pocket. And a juggled attempt from Staker in game number 150.
And nearly out in the full. I think he's kicked it off the shin and then touched it on the way over the boundary line. But would have been a great start for Staker. Great pass to Daniel Merritt from Rich. Just a really well-weighted ball.
McAvoy won that knock. Down to Robertson, who got it on the boot quickly. Milne has a personal best of 11 goals against the Lions. And he's off and running here, Stephen Milne. Ran out of support. Might not need it. Too far. I'm sure he took a bounce.
He bounced it about 5 steps before, didn't he?
Yeah, I'd like to have a look at that one again. I think he was a bit stiff there, Milne.
Pretty sure he did. Here's the Lions on the rebound, so they're lucky. Harwood trying to do what Milne couldn't, but his kick is hooked. Some pressure back there for the Lions. Donnell forcing it to the boundary.
He's only a little man there, little steps, but I thought he might have snuck a bounce in there, Roo. Have a look at that one. There's the bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He's a bit unlucky. They're only little steps.
All right, but there's about 30.
Zorko around the corner.
I thought he snuck another bounce in, but he did take a few steps.
Well, he was running on the spot. Is that still a step?
Well, I'm not sure.
No.
Bit unlucky, but he was just obviously he had to hold up because there was no forwards in the forward 50 to kick to, even as a bailout kick, just to hold it in.
Zorko with the first score for the evening. Here's Robertson to himself, and then the kick not really to the advantage of Dempster. Jones, Montagna, off a step, trying to clear away with some distance. Clark the spoil.
Someone's taken a great grab.
It's the Goose Maguire against his former club.
See, he's been a very good player since he's been here, actually, for what he was.
And he's got better as he's gone on.
Yep.
Actually, that is right. He's getting better. Kick into the pocket, coming across Dempster to help out.
We saw Pierce Hanley back there, a broken hand. He's only missed 1 week, so that was sooner than expected to come back. He was said 2 to 4 weeks when he actually hurt the hand. There he is with the glove on.
It's structurally sound because they put the pin in it, so it's been pinned up, and structurally it's okay. He's just got to put up with the pain.
Redden trying to bust free and get it going forward. Scooped up by Robertson. Geary has Montagna, in turn Del Santo. A couple of the famous Saints combining. Not a good kick from Nicky Dow. Merritt's got support. Harwood again, shorts it. Rich can almost get home from here. Long ball, probably too long for Brown. And going back, good Mark Simpkin under pressure from the big Lions forward.
Well, Daniel Rich getting off to a good start. Already had the 4 disposals, so a lot of come under a bit of scrutiny with his ability to shake the tag. So great start for him.
Maguire making good position there under some close attention from Lee. Ball now it comes out, holding the ball.
Just tried to get that one out. I think he knew he was under the pump for a holding the ball decision, so just tried the best he could to get it out, and in the end he was paid a free kick against for that reason.
Lee searching for a percentage kick to the boundary. Stanley, great mark. Well, terrific strong hands.
That's encouraging signs. To see Stanley jump, take the ball at its highest point, or at his highest point,
and then kick it out on the full.
That's not great. Just especially when the confidence is building for the Saints. Had their hand on the ball.
Well, that's what you want, a contested mark for your forwards. It gives the rest of your midfield some confidence to head through you and just let his team down. O'Brien, short again, up the middle to Mays. Very talented young man. Again, Merritt the target. Tried to get rid of Robertson. Falls to Rockcliffe. So clever in these sort of situations. They go back. Redden now Hanley with a bit of space, a bit of time. He heads to the top of the square. Low ball, doesn't get the distance on it. And Dempster, another strong mark. St Kilda marking well.
Just needed to do better there. He needed to kick it with flight. There's no need to punch it in when you've got two St Kilda players. Just need to put it in the air so he can at least compete and bring it down for the Crummers.
Not out of danger just yet, the Saints. Floating ball across for Geary to slide in.
And as Scotty Waters said, he knows he's going to be outsized in their back half. The big forwards can expose them if the ball's delivered in a half-decent manner. The pressure from the midfield is going to be the key to make sure the ball's elevated. But the Lions haven't been able to hit the targets inside 50 yet.
Working it up the line. Webster now. Revolt the target. Worked out of it by Clark. Play on the call from the umpire. Feeding it through Patfull. Likewise Lee for the Saints. Stanley tries to stand in the tackle.
And Roo, when you're coming off a 100-point belting, for the first 5 or so minutes, you just want to get into the game and not get hurt early. And they're certainly in the game.
Well, the other thing is Brisbane's worst quarter for the year is their first quarter. They've been severely outscored in the first quarter all year.
Yeah, only won 3 first quarters.
So if you're going to come away, get off to a good start. That gives you the confidence to go on. So I'm sure Scotty Waters made a point of that in the pre-game.
Risky kick from Patfull, and it's been cut off by the Saints. Webster, strong attack on the ball from Green. Curran got rid of him though. Back, shoulders, arms, uses Robin and has to get rid of it. Did by hand. Back to Donnell, just sliding off the outside of his boot. He wants Curran. Thought about the 1-2. They go back, they lose ground. Donnell. But they maintain possession. That's a poor kick though, but Simpkins got plenty of time. But it'll give time for the Lions to man up. And they get a contest. Mays in front. Hayes down front. Kick forward, and that's a strong mark by Yeo. Another of the promising young Lions.
Looking forward to watching him again tonight. I saw him last week against Port Adelaide. Just got some great speed off half
He's
back.
got some speed.
It's a real key now to an AFL side is having speed off half back to break the lines and penetrate into the forward 50.
It's good zone here by the Saints, giving the Lions no room to move.
Yeah, they've done this on a number of occasions now, just been able to get their defensive structures in place early enough to hold up the Lions.
What's Brownie doing down there, Lynchy? Full forwards don't usually push that deep. Has he lost?
Chasing the leather, just get one in the hands, I think. Golby searching for the lead of Zorko, and Geary right with him.
Well, the old Jonathan Brown would be taking on his opponent back in those days as well on a 19k time trial around the Gabba. He's going to turn you around and take an uncontested mark in the 50, but doesn't cover the distance that he used to, the big man.
He's got a big tank though, hasn't he, still?
Massive.
Good smother, but unfortunately the Lions win out with numbers. Hanley back in the team. Pierce Hanley's kick left to the post, just to behind. So 2 now for the Lions. Saints yet to get on the board, and we've played 8.5 minutes.
Thanks, Brent. Thank you.
Yeah, he just pulled that one. And you'd think there's Jonathan Brown. And speaking of Brownie and working into form like you said with Maguire, he started the season pretty slow. He's worked his way into it. I mean, they're too reliant on him, but he's playing some reasonable football.
Well, Leuenberger did well to punch it down to Brown, but a little bit too much on the handball for Rockcliffe. They concede. Back to Yeo. Stop start, but out wide as Clark.
Play on.
Heads up high. Leuenberger inside the forward 50. Stanley, another strong mark. Let's go to Lee.
We're just watching McAvoy. He's actually just limped off the ground. His right hip looks to be the problem, so I'll keep you an update on him.
Goose Maguire from outside 50 again, and they miss another shot at goal. I thought that was going through, and I think he might have as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of criticism for those mature age draft picks, Vossi after his first year, but Maguire is I think he was the last pick in the draft.
Yeah, 70-something.
And obviously had some concerns about his broken leg. He's developed into a good player up here, holds down that centre-half back position nicely.
Well, Maguire, Rains and Staker were 3 of them, weren't they?
Here's a chance for the Saints. And away goes Stephen, and he's clear. Milne on his own, or Stephen might go all the way himself. Runs to 30, keeps running. Stephen along the ground. First goal, Saints. Great goal, Stephen.
Outstanding goal, that one, Rue. Just the way they've worked it from the back half and ran the ball. And Stephen, that composure to maintain possession and not give it up, not rush the kick, but back himself to attack the goal square.
Gee, speed's just an important asset, isn't it, in modern footy? But he did. He took him on, and don't know if Jason Dunster will be overly wrapped with that kick, but probably should have went the drop punt, but he did execute it. He got the goal, and a great start for St Kilda.
Ruckman, guys. Ruckman only in.
As you see so many times, inside 50s, 8-2, just their second foray forward. They kicked the first goal of the night. McAvoy, as Lee mentioned, some work on that right hip.
So that's 8-2 in favour of the Brisbane Lions, obviously. So efficiency when you go inside 50 is the key.
Holding.
That's going to put a lot of stress on St Kilda. If McAvoy can't come back, that'll take Reece Stanley out of a key forward post and push him straight into the ruck.
Great lead from Revolt, just not quite able to complete the mark. They're still going though. It was Armitage who sweats on and gets the tackle on Adcock. Revolt without it. Patfull spins out of trouble. Quick hands from Harwood. Adcock just trying to find a target on the way out, and he does. It's O'Brien. A bounce. Merritt goes short for him. Terrible kick. Needs a good bounce. He's not the most agile man in the world. Robertson's got him. Still going. Merritt. O'Brien trying to mop up after the pass. Caught. Green. The little speedster. Chips it up. Ball now at ground level. Lenny Hayes back to help out. Saints doing well in defence. Dempster concedes a little bit of ground again, but again they maintain possession through Montagna, and a switch back to Hayes.
Play on. Line.
Up the middle he goes.
Good kick.
Yeah, beautiful kick from Armitage to find Mill. Now Revolt. Patfull arrives late.
Gee, that was a strong mark. He's got a player open. He's still got a player open. Now just pauses. Just probably was a bit worn out. Didn't have the composure to get around and see a teammate free in the forward 50. But that was a good grab. As you said in the call, Joel Patfull was just that metre or two behind him, so came in late, but strong hands to keep hold of that ball.
We've seen Revolt, we've seen Stanley take a couple. They're good, strong, contested marks.
20.
Will he kick it from here, Lynchy? Can he make the distance?
Oh, he can make the distance.
Yep.
Keeps it low, but he's hooked it. And he's hooked it behind. Let's get back over to Lee. Things happening on the St Kilda bench, Lee.
It is. McAvoy's back, which is great news for the Saints big man. But the real worry is Jimmy Webster just limped off, right knee, and they're testing his ACL and have gone downstairs. Not a good look.
Oh,
thanks, Lee.
Not good at all.
And Harwood threading that kick out wide, chopping the arms. Lucky kick there for Maguire.
Scotty Waters said they only had 19 blokes when they finished last week against the Cats, and all he asked for tonight was to have his players available. So that is a shocking start.
That's not the best kick from Maguire. That's a floater, very hard one for Redden to catch. Montagna quick hands. Numbers went out for St Kilda. Jones, they share it back to Stephen. Into the danger zone. Curran getting away from Doherty, and this time Patfull in front of Revolt, and he wants to move it quickly. Maguire, Adcock looks down the corridor.
Oh, Brown's gone.
Done a hamstring.
I reckon it's an Achilles or calf.
Brown in trouble.
I reckon it's in the left Achilles.
Gee, it's bad too.
Brown not moving, so plenty happening here in the first quarter. Both teams with some worries. Brown no good.
He just tried to take off on that lead from about 40 metres and pulled straight up. Normally it doesn't look like a hamstring because you grab that.
It looks lower, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you reckon that's a good sign that it's probably not an Achilles, that he can actually jog off. But
old man's calf.
Ooh, you don't want to start those.
No, they don't go away. Here's Golby. Looks into the middle. Got numbers here, Brisbane, and they might need them. There's no Brown up forward. Rich from 60. Loves that situation, and so does the crowd. Bang!
That was just a half swing 3-iron there for Daniel Rich. Just flushed that one, dropped it in the goal square. But obviously the major concern is Jonathan Brown and that left probably calf or Achilles that he's injured. But Daniel Rich, as you said, can struggle just getting off the mark there. Still none the wiser really, but
left
calf maybe.
Yeah.
Not sure. It's a strange one, but here's the great goal from Daniel Rich from 65.
Just a classic finish from Daniel Rich. Lee, it's still happening this time on the Brisbane bench.
Yeah, it looks like a calf for sure. I'll come back to you at quarter time. Some good news over for Jim Webster. He's strapped up. Looks like he might have just give his medial ligament a little bit of a twinge. But the figure 4 leg lock is in, boys, and Jonathan Brown out.
Yeah, that's no good at all for Jonathan Brown. That looks low as well.
Chance here for St Kilda. Hayes dumped after he kicked it. It's going to be tight in the pocket. Now it's going to go to Ahmed Saad, and he is a very good kick for goal.
He is. Lenny Hayes is off to a flying start. He's had 6 disposals. Lee Montagne's had the 8, and he's going at 100% by foot. This will be a big kick for this young man. Normally a bit of a dead eye.
So have a look at that for pressure. Try and replicate that at training.
The long walk up. Tight angle for the answering goal for St Kilda, but it'll be an important kick for Ahmed Saad. Only from 30 metres. Threads it through, no doubt in his mind whatsoever.
That's a super goal, Roo, under enormous amount of pressure, and that front row of that grandstand gave him all sorts of feedback on everything that's going on at the moment. But that's great for the young man to go back and slot that one. And the Saints, they hit the front. They're looking pretty good. They've been able to match the lines over the last 10 minutes with possessions to balance up the disposal count. But that is a low look. Look, might even be down in the foot.
Jonathan Brown still getting some running repairs there.
Is Brownie going to play on next year, Lynchy?
I'm not sure. I think the way he's been finishing the season, I think it's made him consider next year, but I don't know.
Redden to Rockcliffe. Saints by 4 points, so that terrific finish from Ahmed Saad, and he'll be happy with that after not his best week.
You'd hate to think that's the last we're going to see of Jonathan Brown right there if he's done a calf, if he's not going to play next year. Let's hope he plays on.
Let's hope so.
And Redden has to be careful there. And we've got to throw in.
There's Redden.
There's a red vest.
And Buick's about to come into the game, boys. Sipos warming up for the Saints.
Okay, so plenty happening early in this game. Buick, who is a lead-up forward. So it might not hurt their structure too much as Leuenberger's kick is marked by Donnell.
They certainly got the tools to cover. Brown, no one else has got the presence of Jonathan Brown.
More leadership?
No, absolutely not.
Spoil from Clark was a committed one.
He's been a good find too, Clark. They found him from out of the bush in South Australia. And
some good things come from the bush in South Australia, Roo, don't they?
He's right out in the bush, but he's been a great pickup. 195 centimetres.
Good athlete.
Off the farm. Does the job for him, doesn't he?
Yeah, the Wakeland twins, they were good out of the bush, South Australia.
Corey Enright.
Yeah. Underneath all of that was Rockcliffe. Here's Rains hunting it, but didn't take it. Montagna clean, but gave it straight to Redden as if he was his teammate. Into the pocket. Staker almost. Green, good pressure, good tackle. Zorko, how will it bounce for Green? Bang, got to get through. Gives it to Merritt. The Redheads combine for a goal.
Every time I see Green play, I'm impressed with him. He doesn't look like he's had a great opportunity at Brisbane, but look at that. He's the one that creates this goal. A couple of good tackles, follows on, and doesn't get a clear possession, but he gets the ball to Merritt at the end of the day, and that's exactly what small forwards need to do, so well done.
I'm interested in the replay here. Nick Del Santo claims it's off his shin. Maybe it's optimistic, but we'll have a look at the replay there. But Green, very good defensively.
Merritt with the goal. Green didn't get a possession in all of that, but he had 3 movements to get it to Merritt.
Rue's spot on what you said. I think he's a really good player. He's pace, but I think his biggest asset is his defensive work. His tackling pressure that creates goals.
Rockcliffe trying to find Redden again, but it goes the other way to Curran. So it's goal for goal at the moment. Patfull reading it well. Too much on the handball, though.
Oh, that's heavy.
Rockcliffe pushed in the back, and he's down.
Well, he's more than pushed in the back. He was charged in the back, and that can hurt your ribs and take the wind right out of your sails. Let's have a look at that hit by Armitage.
Bends the back and the neck.
Well, that's just he took an opportunity there. He was open, and he made him pay.
Just gone backwards here, a little bit untidy, Brisbane. Maguire trying to assess what is forward, and not a lot. So he's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Just sprayed that one. Nick Rewalt already working extremely hard. And that's a foot. I think that's a plantar fascia.
Plantar fascia.
Yeah, I think he's looks like
ripped it.
He's snapped. The plantar fascia is that band under the arch of your foot.
That'd be the best result, wouldn't
Well,
it?
if you do snap it, you can recover quickly. Otherwise, if they just flare up, they stay around forever.
And they're ordinary.
I've had one.
Yeah, I've had one too. They're not good at all. So the theory is actually snap them so you recover quicker.
Yep.
So it looks
Robert
like
Harvey did that, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he might have. I think that looks like that's the result.
This is Simpkin around the boundary line on the outer side, and that's a pretty good mark from Yo. Back to Doherty. Or Hanley, I should say. Hanley to Maguire's. A bit of push and shove from McEnvoy and Leuenberger, and meantime, a little bit of space for Mays to run into. Now here's the sub Buick, and that's welcome to the game. A wonderful tackle from Armitage. He's got some help. They want to hold it in. They want holding the ball, and they don't get it, the Saints.
But again, really good work from the Saints. Armitage to push across defensively to add support. So some good defensive work also with the tackling. Hold the ball in.
From the thrower, smother, ricochets back. Curran involved, back to Ray. This is Montagna, who's now had it 10 times for the game. Dempster.
I think Montagna and Rockcliffe are going their separate ways, and Rockcliffe's had 8 as well.
Hayes the target. Kick just floated away from him. Enabled Adcock to get it back to Rich. Standing start. It's hard to find a target from there. It'll be Jones to take that free kick for the chop, and he quickly moves it to Del Santo. Little chip into the middle. Ray can go further wide. Good build up here from the Saints. Donnell wants to go back to Ray.
Don't hold, guys, don't hold.
He's still got a bit of room. And punches it low inside 50, hoping for Revolt. Man got in the way. Here's Revolt. Second attack on it. Jones will want to get on the left. Doesn't kick on the right very often. Not a bad one, though. It's a good one into the pocket. Going through Clark to clear it for the Brisbane Lions. Lee.
Geez, boys, it's like a medical ward down here. As you can see, Jonathan Brown, but the poor old Saints, they've had their issues. The physio and docs have probably treated half a dozen guys with leg complaints. Sean Dempster just came off with a hip complaint. So, yeah, I'm just watching now. A couple other players are coming off, so they're in a bit of trouble.
Handball finds Pat Ford, who uses Golby, who's on the right side for him, and he drills it down the line. Hanley, that hand probably caused him to spill that, and his kicking's not quite on either, so he hasn't quite got used to. It's different training with a glove and training with a problem to playing under pressure. Now the turnover, a chance for St Kilda. Armitage, Jones gets the kick into the pocket. Maguire works him under the ball. Here's Stanley, can't keep it in.
And you've got to probably take into consideration Pierce Hanley can't probably feel half his hand, I would say, after a break last week. Just see the medical ward, as Colby called it, down there.
Probably had a bit of assistance as well.
Oh, he would have had to have had a bit of a jab where the pin's gone in the back of his hand.
Harwood threads the handball through to Rockcliffe. He's trying to find the boundary, or Buick. And it might stay in, not for long.
But the Brisbane Lions are the ones across the board. You said Pierce Hanley's operating at a low percentage by foot, but the Lions are at 51% at the moment. The Saints 74 by foot.
2.5 minutes remaining. It's a tight game. Nothing in this. Buick to Adcock. He's got a runner in Rockcliffe. Decides not to use him. Gets free himself. Staker. Now we'll use Rockcliffe. Adcock kept going. He's got to really work this out because there's numbers back for the Saints, and it's a good kick to find Zorko.
He's a goal kicker, but he's found some teammates.
Well, he might have just found Doherty in range because he was on 50 himself, and he's pinched about 7 metres. And Sam Doherty is lining up for his first goal in AFL football.
If they can tidy up their ball use, Brisbane, they'll find themselves a fair way in front pretty quickly, I think, at this stage.
10th game yet to kick a goal. So a little bit of personal pressure here for the young Lion. From inside 50. Oh, it goes left and comes back right. It wasn't pretty, but it's all clear, 1 goal. He's on the board in the AFL.
Yeah, a bit Bit of reverse swing there early in the night with a new ball, but a goal nonetheless, and they deserve that. They've been the better side early on, and as we said, just not quite using the ball properly. Rockcliffe there, this was a clever kick that set it up, and Zorko just deciding he was a bit too far out. He'll chip it over the top to the youngster, and a very good kick there to go back from right outside, just outside 50 metres. Bit of reverse swing, straight over the goal umpire's head, and goal number 3.
Goal for Doherty. Just a little break here for the Lions. As we've touched on, they don't play good first quarters, but they've got an 8-point break with 1.5 minutes remaining. Can the Saints get one back? Leuenberger over the top. Well read Montagna. Harwood the spoil. Goes past Mays. Again, Montagna should find a target here, and he does. Hits up Stanley.
He's just running in amok. He had Rains went with him at that last stoppage, but he got away, got the clearance, and then followed it up. He's playing some good football, 12 disposals at 88%, and that's a nice pass inside 50. Again, their efficiency is just slightly better going inside 50 than the Lions.
6-4 for the season, inside the last minute to get the margin back to 2. Distance won't be an issue. In fact, the angle shouldn't be. Just got to hit it right. And the umpire didn't like it. It just moved late to the wrong side of the post.
It's been able to close the gap on the inside 50s, 11-13. Still in advantage of Brisbane Lions, but certainly the Saints have closed the gap.
And the Lions trying to run it out by hand. Maguire down the line. Buick was the target, but it's set up for the spoil for Webster, who's got that right knee strapped, as Lee mentioned.
Looks to be limping away a little bit from that spoil, but moved well when he ran out the contest.
Leuenberger was searching for Rich. Ball finds its way to Rich eventually. Here's Hanley. Bit of room to move, but not sure that was the best option for Adcock because there's pressure on. Redden, Yo, Golby, all the best. Catch that. Now the turnover, and they've still got 7 seconds, the Saints. To the outer side, the kick missed Revolt by 10 metres. Patful will clear. It's been a good balance. You can see from Revolt. How did you miss me?
Any danger of just hitting me lays out. I had 20.
Bit of frustration there by the superstar forward, and quite rightly so as well. There's no point leading hard if you're going to kick it straight over his head.
There's the story for the Lions. Their inspirational co-captain is down and out, but they're up on the scoreboard by 7 points. We'll take a break. 7 points up at quarter time, but the story from the first quarter is the injury and the substitution of their co-captain and their leader, Jonathan Brown. So a serious injury for him, and perhaps at this late charge in his career, or this late time in his career, who knows, maybe it's the last time we see Jonathan Brown play AFL football. I know I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's an important issue for tonight in this first quarter, but also for the rest of the season for Brisbane.
Oh, absolutely. All year it's been a talking point whether Brownie will go on next season. No one's really sure. He certainly hasn't come out in the media and announced that he's going to play on, and that if he has snapped the plantar fascia, he's certainly out for the year. And if he doesn't go on, that would be a very sad day for Jonathan Brown.
Well, it's a tough decision to make, isn't it, when to retire? And there's nothing worse than having injuries towards the end and knowing that you can't do what you want to do. Your body doesn't allow you to play the way you want to play. And Brownie's a big man. He's got a lot of pride, and there'll be a big decision he'll make over the next month.
Well, let's find out. Lee Culber's down there, and Brownie's the sort of bloke you could walk up and ask how he's going. How'd you go, Lee?
Yes, Matty. Well, I walked straight over to him, and in Jonathan Brown fashion, he's just turned to me and goes, "Colby, I've snapped the plantar fascia." He reckons he took a step. He thought that a tape actually ripped. He thought that's what it was. But then he said, "Nah, mate, gone. And there's only one bloke that's happy with me, and that's Rowan Buick. He gets to start early."
There is only one Jonathan Brown. Also, Lee, while you're there, St Kilda have had a lot of rotations with some issues, but nothing serious as yet on their bench?
No, nothing as yet, but at least 6 or 7 guys came off in that term, all complaining of different complaints. Well, they're hip complaints mainly Hanley, but yeah, quite a few of them. McAvoy, Simpkin being one, and also, yeah, there was a couple others. I can't think of their names right now.
Thanks, Lee. Well, we knew that the Lions were going to try and stretch the defence with some tools. It's sort of balanced a bit out now, hasn't it, with Buick going forward?
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly the Saints have shown they can hurt the Brisbane Lions on the outside.
Yep.
They've just got to make sure they use the ball well, and certainly the Brisbane Lions will be looking to sharpen up their movement by foot.
Second quarter underway. It's Brisbane by 7 points. And from the centre, it's tough and hard to get through, and it's squeezed kick by Rich. Well taken by Josh Green. Clean hands, not so clean with the boot. Out of bounds on the full.
But again, his hands are very clean. He operates low to the ground. He's very quick. He's got that bit of arrogance about him as well, which you need. And he's certainly developing into a good player.
Well, it's been interesting to watch the battle between him and Banfield. And the reason why he gets ahead of him is those clean hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Banfield certainly was showing that he looked dangerous, but just couldn't finish off his work.
Yep. Lions going backwards here. Rains forwards. They've gone back 30 or 40 metres, looking for a switch. Now it's Pat Full to Clark, moved half a centimetre off his line, then he's gone. It's a big, long, high kick. It's a risky one. Yo will need some help. Hanley is there. And his handling, not quite at the level he'd want.
It was interesting then, Matt. He actually went to handball on his right hand, then realised it's not functioning that well.
Yeah. Buick did well to send it back in. Strong spoil, though. Came from Geary. He might get it back, but here's the man that brought his own footy tonight, Montagna.
Right out, Josh.
Into the middle to Del Santo.
Move it on, play on.
And he just chips it back where it came from to Robertson.
That's it, Mitch. Move it on, play on.
Robertson up and under a little bit.
Mark.
Oh, that's another strong contested mark to the Saints, this time Armitage.
It was an afterthought as well. He was looking to crumb, then jumped into the front and took a very good grab.
Clark was in front, took the mark, played on, caught holding the ball. Saints reload, another chance. Milne can't gather, out of bounds.
Bit dewy out there, Lynchy. Is that usually the case at this time of year?
Yeah, absolutely. The dew will come in, it'll be pretty slippery, and we know the Gabba's a reasonably hard surface, so the ball will hit and skid, and certainly players will struggle to hold their feet. Can be very tough conditions as the night goes on, but it's been a beautiful day. The temperature will drop quite a deal as the night goes on.
Yep. Big punch forward again. Chance for Armitage to run onto it, but again the boundary line beats him.
Keep your meter, thanks, guys.
Leuenberger to do battle in ruck with McAvoy. And Del Santo was caught because the throw-in was shallow. He was caught looking for it. And then we'll go again. And
Tommy Rockcliffe looking for a holding decision, just appealing to the umpire that he's been held in that contest as he has a spell on the bench, but I think it's a bit each way.
There's only been 19 tackles in the first quarter, so there hasn't been too much going on.
The likelihood it probably wasn't a tackle.
Rich to, there's a tackle on Adcock, and there's a tackle on Jones over the shoulder.
Just high, they pinned that one, the right arm over the top. No, the other way.
St.Kilda's free kick. High contact.
There wasn't much in that.
No one knows whose ball it is.
Now no one knew.
Jones.
Even Clint didn't have a clue.
He had no idea it was his free kick.
He'll gleefully take it. Here's the first grab from O'Brien. Just, very marginal.
Off hands.
That's all. I think Clint Jones was a little bit surprised that he got the free kick.
Both sides really looking to go sideways, aren't they, boys? They're really keen to switch and not really play attacking football.
Well, I think both, you're right, Rowan, both defences are aware of it, so it's not as if they're switches that are really opening the other side up.
And they're not doing it with any speed. If you're going to switch, try and do it with speed so you can move it and get it down hard down the outer wing.
Redden down the wing. Golby had to stop and wait, but he's got it. He's growing in confidence. He's an improving player all the time. Yo has a runner going past. Redden, nowhere. Oops. Back to Yo. That's a good sidestep. That's not a good handball.
And this is what happens when you move the ball slowly. Gives you a chance for the opposition to get numbers back.
Holding the ball.
And that's right. And the Saints are pushing up, getting good numbers up at the ball carrier.
And that's good work by St Kilda. Hard running from Milne. Assess the situation. I don't know what the crowd's booing about.
No.
He's clearly holding the ball.
Well, they might be frustrated with their own team, the Brisbane Lions, but you should compliment the Saints, how they defended then. Because of the slow ball movement, as you said, Roo, they just put themselves under a lot of pressure, and the turnover and good execution gives Stevie Milne a shot at goal.
20.
He's not the most popular player in the AFL, so he often cops it anyway, but from 40 metres out, he doesn't miss too many. And he bangs that through to get the Saints within a point.
And that's what they needed. They needed the reward for effort. And I think defensively, the effort was there. So they got the reward with some good ball going back the other way. And the Brisbane Lions paid the penalty.
There's the tackle on Daniel Rich, who's been trying to work his way into the game. Had plenty of opportunity. And then Del Santo finds Milne with a beautiful kick. And Stevie Milne, he's playing for his career too tonight. He's going to come up here, try and kick a bag, because he'd be in doubt as well whether he'll play on in 2014.
22nd for the season for Milne.
He's had some big games against the Brisbane Lions. I think it was Etihad Stadium. He kicked about 10 or 11.
11.
Yeah, nasty day back in 2005 for memory.
From the centre clearance, tough work Armitage, still going, shoveled it out, got it to the forward 50. Here go the Saints, they're just trying to work it towards their goal line. Pressure on Rains, slipped it to Harwood, he's going to run it. Hanley to Rockcliffe.
Oh, around the back and got hit too.
Goes down, Hanley to Redden. Rockcliffe not happy, Hanley runs. That's what he does best. The kick, it's another floater. It falls though for O'Brien. Uses the man, or does he? Yes, Staker kicks it through. It wasn't pretty, but it's a goal.
Another opportunity there with some ordinary skills through the middle of the ground, but somehow they kept possession of the ball. Here's Rockcliffe fumbling there, spent it before he got it, and just got his hands up because Armitage eyed off the opportunity to knock him into next week. It was a bit of a mongrel kick going forward, but fell into the hands, and Staker in his 150th took advantage of it and kicked the goal.
150 games for Brent Staker, played 110 for the West Coast Eagles in a 7-year career, then played his first 23 for the Brisbane Lions, was going well, and then played 6 out of the next 50 with 2 knee reconstructions.
Yeah, 2 knee recos. He was a really handy pickup for the Lions when he first came up, just working his way back into the side nicely.
He's got a goal, and he almost didn't get it. That handball from O'Brien, he couldn't believe that he missed it.
Thank you, Lenny. Thank you.
Margin back to what it was at quarter time as we have another bounce, or thrown up anyway, as Leuenberger tried to flip it to Rains. Leuenberger gets it back. Clearing kick. Good contest by everybody there. Ball at ground level to be won. Green got a boot on it. It might be enough. He might keep going, Josh Green. Well, he set it up for himself. The little man kicks a goal.
Well, the footy got smiled there for Greenie. He set one up before for Daniel Merritt, and Daniel Merritt repaid him with one back there. Staker looks like he's a little bit ginger. Just to add another play there. It was a big contest there. Dempster crashing in, and Lee Colbert said we've already had half a dozen blokes go in with complaints from all over the body. There's Green. Look at him, he's like a little ferret. Just gets up and goes again. Give it back to me. Here he goes. And he's on the end of it. That's what happens if you keep working, keep presenting yourself, ended up getting a goal.
2 in a row for Green. The Redheads combined again there, and Zorko got involved, so he might have to think about some work on the hair. But Staker still a little bit sore after that contest. 2 in a row for the Lions as Jones gets the centre clearance for the Saints. Pat Full having a good night so far. Long way to go when you're playing on Nick Revolt. You've got to stick at it for 4 quarters.
You've had some good redheads up here over the years.
Yeah, there's been some good ones. Michael Voss heads the way. Acker and Justin Lepich was handy at centre half back as well.
Probably find another couple, Matty.
Lepper thinks he's more Caribbean gold. He calls himself,
Here's Del Santo. Did that nicely, the Saints, from the clearance. Almost the mark. Lee goes back on it a second time. They're working hard to get it out here, St Kilda. It doesn't come out.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jed.
Big discrepancy this quarter in the disposals. 16 to the Saints, 36 to the Brisbane Lions.
Saints might get one here, though, but it was cut off by Zorko. He just got a hand on it. Redden, the release was only as far as Donnell. Solid tackle. Del Santo underneath. Mays, Del Santo again.
Yeah, you. Play on.
It's good work from McAvoy. Got it going again. Here's Hayes.
Play on.
Redden. Quick hands from Clark to Golby. Somehow the Lions got free. Now Merritt was involved, and look at the hard run from Merritt, and he was let down by the poor kick from Golby.
Yeah, they worked really hard. Both teams actually, defensively for the Saints and the Lions flicking the ball around, but again, just errors by foot. Just leave you vulnerable the other way.
McAvoy with the big switch over to Dylan Robertson, and they've got some space out wide here. It's Curran, straightens it up, goes straight up to Revolt. Got free of Patfull there.
Thank you.
To the 50-metre line he goes. Sard, out of bounds.
Thanks, Baron.
Let's get back to Lee at ground level once again.
Yeah, just been watching Nick Riewoldt in this first half, and look, he's been frustrated at different times and always puts in, as we know, 80-metre odd leads, but here's just a couple of efforts early that certainly was frustrating. He couldn't get the ball in there quick enough, but hopefully now he can find some footy.
It's going to be tough for him, isn't it? A key forward, when you want the ball delivered properly, there's limited inside 50s. Last week they had 38 less than Geelong. It's going to be a very frustrating end to his career, I think, unfortunately.
Here's Lee trying to help him out, but it's picked up and cleared by Clark to Yo, and he puts it out in front for Mays. A bounce, a little bit lackadaisical on the bounce. Saunders came at him, good chase, forced the error. Simpkin trying to clear it. The bounce is a tough one. Hits the pad.
Yeah, nearly unplayable, that one, for Lee Montagna. There's plenty of it tonight. He had 6 this quarter. But that was a rough old bounce. Some good defensive work again. See the disposal efficiency, 70 Brisbane Lions, 57 for the Saints. But it's by foot that the Brisbane Lions have really struggled.
Hayes. Rich has got it, and he's away. Oh, and he's had a crack. He's had a crack from 60, and he turns it through. Daniel Rich in a rich vein of form.
Well, you can't leave him on his own inside 75, can you? Especially with those low 3 irons that he likes pulling out. Let's have a look at this stoppage here. It was just pretty tight. Lenny got it. He heard a voice over the back, and then that just coughed up. Rich grabbed it, opened up the left boot, and just went bang.
He does. He just punches them low and just backs his the penetration to drive the bounce through. Another really good goal from Daniel Rich.
3 in a row to the Brisbane Lions. Second for Rich. He's the first player to kick 2 goals.
And they're pretty happy with him up here in Brisbane, especially now that he's re-signed, staying at the Brisbane Lions for a further 3 seasons, which is great news.
What's his endurance like, Lynchy? Does he need to take that to another level to be a gun midfielder?
Probably to be up with the absolute elite runners in the competition, take it to a new level.
Here they go again, Brisbane. Merritt, good tackle, Dempster. Merritt's handball doesn't get clear. Up close and personal with Simpkin, but he can't take it.
They're a pretty handy team, the Brisbane Lions. Their stoppage work, they've kicked 4 goals, 2 from stoppages so far tonight. So they've got some potency, and that's the likes of Rockcliffe and Rich getting involved in close.
18 to 12 the clearances as well, so really on top there thanks to Leuenberger.
Just 1-1 there. Montagna, it's touched on the way through. Adcock's handball. Zorko got a call out wide. Cut off nicely though. It was by Curran. Del Santo. Saunders involved again and worked hard.
You just get the feel that certainly the Saints are very much in this game, but they don't want to let this lead just slip out to the 24, 25 points at this early stage of the game. They've been in it. They just need to answer now.
Stephen was involved, and again it's Montagna. Stephen got away from his tag, got the kick out high and wide. The spoil comes. Crummer-needed, beautifully gathered by Armitage. Very dangerous there. Handball over the top, hoping Sard can run onto it. Sard and Yo. Sard still going. Still going.
Stay in.
Has not given up on it yet. Maguire runs out of room. Persistence from Ahmed Saad.
Some sore players getting up. Colby's been all over it all night, but especially the Saints players getting off the ground then look sore.
Leuenberger down in front. Revolt first to it.
Thanks, guys.
Well, I don't think anyone would have predicted St Kilda only winning 3 games at this point of the season. It's been an extra disappointing year, hasn't it? I mean, people thought they might slide, but not slide this fast.
Play it off 15, play it!
Adcock didn't take it. Pressure now for the Lions. Clark. Rockcliffe was there as well. Curran hoping for a 1 high. Hayes on top. It's out to Rockcliffe. He wants the 1-2 round the back, but he's got no room to move. Kicks it up high. 2-on-1 the Saints.
Oh, big shove.
Push. And didn't need to there because they had the numbers.
Just a big shove. Just needed to nullify that contest to get the ball to ground or even over the line. Just big early push. You just can't do that. Don't worry about whether it's hands in the back or anything. It's a shove.
St Kilda.
It's got to come back. There's a mark. Another contested mark for the Saints, winning in that department. This is McAvoy.
Bit of patience, get across the other side of the field, get a really good quality inside forward 50 entry to generate a shot.
That's what they're thinking. Oh dear. Didn't quite work out yet. Now this is a crucial bounce here. Everybody ran past it. Dempster hacks it out of the danger area. Stanley, little give off to Revolt's good. Jones squeezes it forward, holding there. They'll get a goal to beat a Lee, and that's the game of AFL footy. The ball didn't bounce in the middle of the ground. Advantage paid. Goal, Saad. St Kilda to get that one, they needed it.
Absolutely they did. Now there's a bit of a clarification needed by the Brisbane Lions players. They wanted, when the free kick was paid here against Maguire, Saad has run on, grabbed the ball, looked back, asked the umpire whether it's advantage. He said yes, play advantage, and just dribbles it through for a goal.
Let's go, let's get to 20, work hard.
Good big lesson here for young Yo. He should have kept following. You don't stop when the whistle blows, you follow up and just go with your opponent, just in case happens exactly like it did there.
2 goals to Ahmed Saad, 2 of the 4 for the Saints. They get the margin back to 13. He takes a well-earned rest, and he just had presence of mind to take the advantage there. The player takes the advantage. Never give up on it.
Play on!
And here go the Saints again, starting to win some clearances. Hanley gets rid of Hayes, though. Down he goes. O'Brien over to Adcock. Off a standing start. Merritt trying to use his bulk.
Holding the man, Daniel Merritt.
There you go.
And that's just, I mean, just strengthen the contest. But the pressure, when you know you're outsized and you think he's got me under control here, and you just put the arm. Well, there's not much around it. It was paid, I think, for the right arm around the waist, which is a bit of a giveaway these days for the umpires. They pay those decisions.
20 gone.
So for the quick answering goal, Merritt, 35 metres out, directly in front.
Stay there, Bertha.
Makes no mistake.
All clear.
Well, he's going to have more space up in the forward 50 now with Jonathan Brown out of there. Could have a big night, Daniel Merritt. Just that's what happens when you're a bit bigger and a bit stronger than your opponent, isn't it? They tend to give away the free kicks when they really don't need to. So, good kick by Merritt and another goal to Brisbane.
That's his second.
And just see the ball come in. Then Simpkin obviously given a lot of height and weight away to Daniel Merritt. Not much in it.
Big Daniel with his second has a spell on the bench, and the margin back to 19 points. If you've just joined us late, Jonathan Brown gone for the evening. Tore his plantar fascia in the first quarter. And here go St Kilda. So it's goal for goal. What can they do here? That's a drilled pass, hoping for Lee. Yeah. Harwood trying to spin out of trouble, and did so successfully. Maguire wobbles it towards Redden. Handball over the top. Patful off the left boot. O'Brien, he just protected the drop zone there, did okay, then got boot to ball. Green will try and keep it in, but he can't.
See John O'Brien doing a little bit of coaching from the bench.
Yeah, looks like he's obviously very disappointed on the bench there, but just helping Daniel Merritt with a bit of direction. Obviously spent all his career in the forward half. Daniel Merritt hasn't spent a lot of time in the forward 50.
Strong tackle from Redden on Saunders. It fell for Leuenberger. That's a good contested take from Zorko. Golby got through. Stakers his target. Plenty going on there. Off the back of Simpkin. Montagna did well. Still a dangerous ball though.
Oh.
Bang! And Armitage gets caught high.
No, he didn't. That's it, Brett. Player.
And away they go quickly. Webster. Switching ball out wide. Robertson. Revolt a long way up.
Joel Patch was a good athlete, but he was just sagging off the back there. Revolt working extremely hard.
Yo cuts it off for Brisbane. And he's got some room to move here. No one comes at him just yet. Keeps it low, too low in fact, hoping for Green. Probably not the best option as a target. Dempster to Webster. Didn't see Green. Ball still in.
And that's what Brisbane fans are going to see a lot of. Yo running hard off the half-back flank, but here was the free kick before. Gee, there was nothing in that at all. Absolutely zero. Play on.
Tap forward. Revolt. Hanley got there first. Hayes. Hand on it from Hanley. Important time this. It's a 19-point margin, as you said before, Alistair, that Saints are in it. There's not much in the contest. They just don't want this next 6.5 minutes, the lead to be broken out to by half-time.
A massive period in the lead up to half-time, just to bring the margin back to within 2 kicks.
Yep.
Is really important.
St Kilda sitting in his back.
And underneath all of that, one of the
Right there.
Saints men in Stephen.
Well, he's working hard tonight. He's got Andrew Rains on his back pocket all night. So had the 9 disposals now. So still doing his bit under a tight tag.
Good running here from St Kilda to find some space. It was Farron Ray that ran across the ground. And Revolt presents for him.
He's playing very, very high up the ground tonight, Nick Revolt, isn't he?
Yeah, he was struggling to get used on the lead in the forward 50, so he's had to go searching. He'll be looking to, like Jonathan Brown at his best, turn Patful around and beat him back.
Robertson with an inventive kick. It's a successful one to Simpkin, who, well, he spilt it, but they've maintained possession for now. Robertson back to Webster. Short one to Armitage. It's a little bit of the ball. Del Santo with 18 disposals. Rockcliffe with 17. And Armitage's kick. And a big pack formed, and Hanley might take it over. He does.
You can't see it on camera, but Nick Revolt is still on the other side of the ground directly. You can just see him coming into screen now, telling his players to try and switch the ball. I don't know whether it was because he wanted another kick or whether they don't want to kick it to a contest down the line, but quite aggressive with his use of his hands.
Here's Lee. Got a call from Hayes. There's the high tackle. Montagna will have the shot at goal.
He's had a very big first half. This will be disposal 17 coming up, and importantly, his first chance to hit the scoreboard.
Important kick. It'll take a good one. He's going to kick from just inside 50. We're right on it. It's pretty good. It's very good. Montagna's having a big first half, and he keeps the Saints in it.
Yeah, outstanding work. He's working extremely hard, and certainly, whether it be in the first or second quarter, he just keeps working. He's the high contact free kick, just a little one from Piers Hanley, left arm over the top of Lee Montagna, and he's a class act and just went back and slotted that one from the stripe, and really importantly, brings the margin back to 13 points. And again, next goal important for the Saints, just to really put pressure on the Lions at halftime.
13-point margin after that Montagna goal. 7-3, 5-2. Still very little in this game as far as the contest is concerned, especially at ground level. Hayes wins the centre clearance. Big leap up there from...
Oh, Stanley got hurt there.
Yeah, he's down. Milne It's touched. He's still alive. Ahmed Saad's got 2. He's hoping for his 3rd.
Could be left shoulder or head.
Could be concussion, yeah.
Come down heavily.
He's Gonski, I think.
That's the danger when you're in the air and just get the legs taken out from under you. That's head contact on the ground, and he's going to have a nasty headache, you would have thought. That's bang.
Oh, yeah. Bit of whiplash on the neck, and he's still down too, which is a bit sad because he's been a good target for him up forward.
Let's get ready to stop it if it goes out that way.
Umpires just having a chat to each other there. Let's get ready to stop if there is a serious issue. Medical staff taking their time as the ball goes down the outer side. Staker almost plucked that one. Thrown out of the contest. Zorko got a boot on it. Geary back there. Zorko a little bit clumsy on top of him. Dives on it. Want to be careful here. Holding the ball.
Just see the doctor's taken plenty of time, and he's up. So that's good news. But understandably, they took plenty of time to make sure that he's okay.
I've got the ball. You've got it wrong.
Looks like he might be holding that left shoulder a bit as well, so might be some concerns.
Kick's going to be cut off by Patfull. Now Hanley's got some room. That's pretty dangerous to leave Pierce Hanley on his own. And that's the net result. He's back and he's on the board.
And he hasn't kicked a lot straight tonight, Pierce Hanley, but he certainly kicked that one nice and straight. And again, nice answer for the Brisbane Lions. Pierce Hanley's been running around very well. You see this switch here. He finds space, and we know he carries the ball a long way, so he had the potential to attack that 50-metre arc. And he kicks the ball extremely well for a man that hasn't played a lot of AFL football realistically. Flush that one through.
Goal to Hanley, getting the margin back to 18 points. They're still pretty busy on the benches, Lee.
Yeah, it is. Reece going down the race now. He's holding his shoulder, definitely left shoulder. Interestingly enough, Sammy Hamill's been down on the bench here. He was really happy with the way he was going, presenting up forward, and then something like that goes and happens. Very frustrating for a young fella.
Maguire in the ruck for the Lions. Here's Daniel Rich's kick 2. He's going for another low 3 iron. Oh, he's got 3. He can kick it from anywhere.
He loves those, and there's a bit happening in the middle of the ground. There is starting to a bit of emotion spill over. But Buick comes in, gets involved. But Daniel Rich, just a little shooters, just your Lynx style golf. He just bumps and runs them up onto the green.
It wasn't a 3 iron at all, Matty. I was disappointed in that call. That was more a 1 wood off the deck. Have a look at it here. He just goes bang.
It's a half swing though.
With a draw.
3 goals to Rich. But Jason does to be upset that went along the ground.
No,
from 75.
Happy with that.
He'll be happy with that one. That's an outstanding goal. He's playing a good game.
He's got 3, and he's only had the 11 kicks, but he's lethal from anywhere 70 metres from goal. Maguire doing well to Rockcliffe. Half a fumble, but managed to get it going forward. Webster to repel for the Saints. Just when they got that goal, 2 quick ones to the Lions, brings the margin to 24. Whoops. Going back the other way. Yo, forced to backpedal and then kick it to Maguire, who outmarked 4 of them.
The big mobile ruckman.
The big goose.
Maguire, I don't think he spent a lot of time in the ruck. Ooh, that's a great grab. Outstanding grab.
That's Sam Donnell.
His father, Frank, obviously played up here, I would have thought, with you, Matty.
Yes, I played with Frank.
Mitch, hold!
He'd be very pleased to see that sort of courage from Sam.
Outstanding grab.
Get on!
To the contest, and there's plenty of Saints there. The handballs, a look-away handball to traffic.
Not his go. Big Ben, I don't think.
No,
look away.
It was strange. Simpkin. Chip kick from Armitage. Play on, Saunders. Oh, he got away from the tackle. Very clever there, Saunders. Tough to catch. Milne a long way from home, but can make things happen, Stevie Milne. Not this time.
Not the right option, I don't think.
No.
Robertson was out wide on the wing. He could have used him. He was by himself.
Harwood slotting nicely near that defence for the Brisbane Lions.
He probably hasn't got the elite aerobic capacity to spend it all day in the midfield, but he's hard at it, really accountable. Want to find a spot for him back there.
They don't even look like they want to score in this last bit. Look like they're just trying to retain possession here, Brisbane, with 47 seconds on the clock. Just don't want to turn it over when you start doing this.
Redden to Adcock.
Got another switch on if they want.
Patful wants it in the middle, but it's just some patient build-up, as Mark mentioned. They're not too concerned about the scoreboard, I don't think. Hanley. Mays. Merritt, long lead, and off the knee. 18 seconds remaining. It's a 4-goal game. Lions led by 7 points at quarter time. Both teams with injury concerns. Brown off. Stanley in a spot of bother.
And
Sipos is up.
Yeah, he's up, and they've executed.
They've executed, thank you, Colby. There's been a death before half-time. Trying to work it out by hand here, the Saints. Armitage has done some really good things tonight. That's really clever play. Open up Jones. Unfortunately for the Saints, it's a really promising movement. They're going to be beaten by the siren on one of their best forays forward for the quarter. He knows it. And just like on quarter time, some frustration from the Saints players. Maguire's got a little bit to say.
Let him go.
But I don't think he's too upset.
Let him go. Matthew, please go. Stay out. Matthew, please go. Come on.
Plenty of verbal from both teams. There's been a little bit of push and shove, but at the half-time here at the Gabba, Saturday Night Football, the Lions in control on the scoreboard to the tune of 24 points. Welcome back to the Gabba, Saturday Night Football live here in Brisbane, Queensland, with the Brisbane Lions, the home team, leading St Kilda by 24 points after leading at quarter time by 7 points. And there's been plenty happening for both benches with injuries and concerns. Let's get to Lee for a update, in particular, about Reece Stanley, Lee.
Yeah, thanks, Matty. Well, Reece Stanley's actually looks like he's damaged his collarbone, so we're not sure exactly to what extent. He'll go and have scans, but here's the incident. It was pretty heavy on landing. First thought concussion, but as you can also see there, that left arm was trapped underneath, and that's going to be a nasty one. So him and Jonathan Brown both going to be out for extended periods. You'd almost think both of them possibly the end of the year. The other one, the locals here are hoping to see again is Simon Black. Hoping to see him back. 2 home games. They want to see the star play. And also, just on Nick Riewoldt, what a warrior he's been. Just watch him run out, actually, after half-time. And as an old player myself, I remember it used to be the hardest time to get warm. And certainly he was, he's been like that himself. And seeing him come out, he has his knee drained, as we know. He's such an amazing athlete. And just seeing him in this sort of state's not great. But hopefully he can push through and finish off his career well.
Yes, made his debut in 2001, rising at 31, as Jonathan Brown has the foot and some eyes.
Yeah, he's just icing that up, and they'll explore what operation he has tomorrow, I'd imagine. And
your brother giving him a bit of good advice here again, Lynchy?
My brother wouldn't be giving him any advice whatsoever.
So still some work for Scotty Waters and his team. They've got to cut this margin back. They've got 24 points to get back. Perhaps get half of it back here and set up a really big last quarter, which they've done before here at the Gabba. They've won their last 3 visits here, and they've won the centre clearance for the first time in the third quarter. Montagna's kick goes inside 50. Punch clear by Adcock. Jones in the way. Rich gets him. Push forward. Sipos involved early. Montagna another disposal.
Was a blue ball on the play, boys.
Yeah, it's Rich and Jones, I think. Yep.
I think Jones is determined that Daniel Rich is not going to kick his 4th goal on him and give him no space to use that very potent left leg.
Well, Clint Jones is going to have a better second half. I mean, he wouldn't be guaranteed a spot on the list next year either, I wouldn't have thought.
Hanley went without it. Armitage didn't. Del Santo got it over to Stephen, who tumbled it forward. Chance here. Lee, Sipos, just one too many.
Yeah, a late decision to give off the hands and just overcooked it. Unfortunately, pull over, but they've got a forward 50 stoppage. They've just got to get better in this stoppage situation. The Lions have been pretty good. So certainly scores from stoppages, the Lions have dominated.
Leuenberger trying to backhand it. Quick kick out, didn't go far. Montagna up and under. Doherty, well, hard one to mark, and he did a good job. And he's off and running. And he's had to rush the kick, made it hard for his teammate in O'Brien. Webster sweats on him. Revolta's there. Chance for St Kilda. Not 15, but they've still got it. Off a standing start, Del Santo. Deep kick in. Clark back for the Lions. And he wants to move it quickly to Harwood. Again, not 15. That one is. Up the middle to Rockcliffe. And the kick to Merritt, who presents, and running past Rockcliffe. Again, a similar sort of kick to a man leading up. This time it's Maguire. He looks for a man coming through, and it's Merritt who's next in the chain. And that's a good pass to Zorko.
It was like a training run through the corridor, wasn't it? A little chip and go again and butter it up again and kick it through the middle, and Zorko was on the end of it.
He's been a good little forward since he's come into this side.
Great pick-up.
Played plenty of senior football on the Gold Coast in the local competition. Dominated the local competition. But just finds space, works hard defensively, and when he gets his chances, he usually nails these.
Zorko from right on 50. Didn't nail that. He put the moz on him there.
Missed by 20 feet.
Jeez.
He hasn't missed many of those over the last
No, he's a good finisher.
He's very happy with you, Lynchy.
Yeah, that's right. I'll pull my head in now.
The umpires have actually just had a word together and just said keep an eye on the Jones-Rich matchup. You can almost guarantee that half-time Scotty Waters had a crack at Jones because he's wearing him.
Knocked forward by Leuenberger. That's intelligent footy. Down for Adcock to Redden. Clark took his time, just got the kick, it tumbles forward, and that's why it ends up in a St Kilda pair of hands in Dempster.
Just got to get a bit of flow in their game now, hit some targets and get some run to support from behind as well.
2-on-1 here.
Well, that's the thing. Good call, Matty. Just kicking into a 2-on-1 situation going to be extremely hard to maintain possession.
Into out 28. Into out 28. No freeze, all right?
Just heard the substitution of Stanley.
Great knock, Leuenberger. Wonderful. Over to the run of Redden. Had Hanley going past. It's still in play. It's right at the top here. Merritt back on it. Forgot the footy. Sipos. Dempster to Geary. And the Saints trying to run it out this time. Hayes. Down the line, down the boundary, and Patful will kill it over the line. Watch for Leuenberger here. His last two knocks have been superb.
Face the footy clean. No holds, don't block.
Joel Patful, not a big name outside of Brisbane, but he's underrated, isn't he, Lynch?
Yeah,
he does the job. He picks up blokes, always taller than himself. He's got great speed and endurance, and as you said, best and fairest last year.
McAvoy won that knock, and Redden couldn't get free, so we have a ball up just outside the forward 50 for the Lions.
It probably ideally suited to the third tall defender, but with Daniel Merritt spending a bit of time forward now, he steps up and takes that key big 6'5" forward.
Armitage to clear. Here is Patful and Revolt. Patful with the spoil. Doherty couldn't take it. They're all going past him. And a bit of a stalemate here at the moment.
Thanks, Sam.
Ray came through. Armitage trying to bust a couple of tacklers. McAvoy just got boot to ball. Comes out. Off the ground. Taken by Donnell. Not sure where to go. Just a little short pass to Hayes.
Just can't get back through the corridor at the moment. Forced wide all the time. Oh, well, this is one way to get through the corridor. There you go. I'm on fire from the commentary box at the moment. But yeah, struggling to get clean possession and run through the corridor.
Now he's got to wait, Hayes, because he saw a man was on and he still wants to use him out wide. That's exactly where he wanted to go. Stephen.
Have a ping.
Montagna to have a ping from the boundary line. I tell you what, have a ping. That's a fantastic finish. He's got two and his Saints get the first for the half.
Well, he's continuing on from a great first half, Lee Montagna. He's had 22 disposals now, 5 already in 5 minutes in this third quarter. And Jonesy still getting into Daniel Rich.
Let's not take our eyes off them too. Someone's always watching, okay?
Yeah, they are always watching. Got to make sure they're not if you're going to have a crack at him. But here it is.
Well done from Stephen to set this up for Montagna.
Drew him well, didn't he? Drew him well, and look, right on the boundary. That's a great shot.
Don't push him in.
And a deserved rest from Lee Montagna. We just saw the replay. That was a fantastic goal.
It was a great goal. Great goal. Well thought through from Jack Stevens, who dished off the handball, held it back, but Montagna just slobbed that one through from the boundary and just relaxes on the pine.
That's enough for me.
Leuenberger, the clearing kick. Well read. Down in front, Webster. Saints on the break. Hanley will test out the hand. Saunders.
Oh, that's 2.
Yeah, it wasn't 15, but St Kilda might have some numbers here. Well done, Webster. Got it to Ray. Looks in the corridor. And he found Jones. And Jones can keep going. Jones trying to do what Daniel Rich does to him. Kick it from 65. And it doesn't get the bounce that he wants. In fact, run through by Clark.
Should be a bit of space here. Brisbane need to move the ball quickly.
Kick tumbles.
Oh, Lenny Hayes.
Lenny Hayes read it beautifully.
Just worked so hard to get there.
And hits it up to Revolt. And the Saints coming here. This to get the margin back to 2 goals.
Second half, probably a bit worn out and maybe a bit stiff after half time as well. Is he going?
I reckon he'll stretch the hammy before he has a go. He might have a little leg through.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to kick from right on 50. He should get the journey. It's just whether he has to try to over-kick the ball, which can result in a big pull left.
A little bit of right post. Let it come back. Ooh. It's left post. It'll stay there.
Just tried to over-kick that one a little bit. One goal, 2 to 1 point. Dominating disposals, 35-18 in favour of the Saints.
Yeah, they've come out after half-time and they've got pressure on here again. They've forced a turnover. Nicky Dowell can have a shot.
Well, they need to get reward for effort. Nicky Dowell looks like he wants to play on there. Let's go back, have his shot from 45-ish. And this is very much in his repertoire. Just needs to slot this one. They need the reward of a good start in the third term.
Put a bit of pressure on Brisbane if they kick this, the Saints.
Yeah, margin will be under the 2 goals. Nicky Dowell's kicked 3 goals for the year. He'd love to make it 4 right here. And senior players, Revolt and Del Santo, missing set shots.
Well, they don't get the ball in their forward 50 an enormous amount. You've just got to make the most of these opportunities. There's 4 scoring shots to 1. So there's 4 scoring shots from their 5 inside 50s.
So they've zoned up pretty well again, and they've forced a couple of turnovers from Brisbane. This time, Adcock forced a kick to a contest. Leuenberger, almost the mark. Got boot to ball. Maguire runs onto it. He had a man in the middle. He refused to use him. Kicks it long. There's no one home. It'll be a race, and Green's got pace. Went without it. Zorko did as well. Dempster held firm, held sway. Stephen got it from Donnell. And they did well there, St Kilda. Didn't panic. Saunders now.
Did extremely well.
That's 50 metres.
This is the rebound off defensive 50 has been most efficient with 2 50-metre penalties. Just looking for
Saunders got a man in the middle. He's looking. Thought about using him. It's closed down now. St Kilda forward in 50 again. Spoil comes from Yo. Adcock had to wait for it. Couldn't get past Lee. Sipos ducks under the tackle. Curran out of midair. Touch play on. Clark will switch it wide to Mays, who's got some room. Doesn't know it yet. Now he can go. Not a lot to kick to, though. Merritt works hard for him and gets there.
Well done.
Got to wait.
They're pretty well set up defensively now, the Saints. You've got to be patient, the Lions. They just can't blaze away to where they're outnumbered 50 metres down the line.
Move it on. Play on.
And they've just closed them down again. So Rockcliffe.
Big switch on.
To Harwood.
But again, well done from the Saints to push up.
It's a good kick. Constructive kick from Harwood to Maguire. He said, I'll kick it here, you go there.
Play on.
But not a lot of tall timber for Maguire to kick to because Merritt and Staker had been involved in the lead-up. There's Merritt getting back. Good tackle. Zorko from the boundary. Squaring ball. Buick and Del Santo and the boundary line. A battle of 3.
Well
Buick turns Del Santo inside out and bangs it into the woodwork.
How good was that pace and pick up and spin from Buick?
Just threw the big dummy here.
Have a look at it.
Turned him inside out. It's a great run. Smack into the middle of the post.
Montagna again, he's had his rest and he's back out there doing what he does best, and that's rack up possessions. He's 7 times this season he's picked up 30 plus, and he's headed that way again for the 3rd week in a row. Stephen took a good mark, then chipped it up the line. Ray plays on. Long ball, revolt coming.
A block.
Standing firm was Yo, though.
I think he did it pretty well then. Revolt's complaining about it, but he did have his body in position just to stand there and hold his ground to prevent the jump.
Too much air on that from Yo, and Lenny Hayes is up again, and he belts it over the line.
Well, that's right, Roo. You can't jump into someone's runway to block, but if you're in there, you don't have to get out of the road. Here's Lenny Hayes.
That's how you spoil.
That's outstanding when he's racked up probably close to 10 kilometres.
Armitage slipped it to Jones. In turn, Ray round the corner. Harwood had to go. It falls for Revolt. Touched by Patfull. Enough to make it over the boundary line, but the Saints can set up for the boundary throw-in. They have the tempo of the game at the moment.
A couple of warriors there, Lenny Hayes and Nick Revolt. Lenny Hayes hasn't said whether he's playing on next year, has he, or not? Lynch?
No, I don't think he has, but certainly another one that's, when he's been out there, shown he's certainly been a really important player.
Armitage was having a shot at goal. Adcock managed to get the smother. Buick again with some good evasive skills. Clearing kick out wide. Leuenberger, well worked under there by Simpkin, though. Forced into the ground and forced the ball over the boundary line.
Another one of the Saints players giving away enormous amount of size, but did enough to get the spoil over the line.
Ricocheted ball, tapped forward by Rich. To Rockcliffe, to Zorko, to O'Brien. Good share from the Lions. Kept it low towards Staker. Green trying to get front and square. Staker pushed it forward. Donnell in the way. And again, this last line of defence for the Saints holding firm. Donnell's wide kick. Hanley got a hand on it and did enough. No one got to that from the rock clear throw-in. Armitage did really well to get it to Del Santo. Here they go again. Nicky Dale can keep going here. Keeps running. Can he get within range? Gets to 50. Hits it to the square. Del Santo. Wonderful finish. And the Saints continue on their way.
Well, Nick Del Santo up to 22 disposals now, and a goal. He missed a goal earlier in the quarter that he should have kicked as well, but they're working their way right back into this game at the moment. You can see Del Santo there outrunning Rockcliffe there, just gaining metres on him quite easily through the middle of the ground. No one comes at him until it was too late. He just leant back from 50 on his left boot and just went bang and put it through. And when third quarter here, 2 goals to zip for St Kilda. They look dangerous.
Vintage Del Santo with the finish there, 22 disposals. Margin back to 11 points halfway through this second quarter. The Saints have the run. Leuenberger over the top in the middle. Hayes again.
Oh, Hayes.
Wins the free kick advantage paid. Away goes Tom Lee. Similar to Del Santo. Can he get within range? Can they kick 2 long goals within a minute? They can't.
That was really good work from the Saints, but you've got to say, for Matty Leuenberger to chase out of that ruck contest, to put enough pressure on to force a rushed kick and just force the behind from Lee. So great chase from Leuenberger, but an outstanding start to this third term for the Saints.
Harwood's kick, it's up high, big pack forms. Hanley got under the tackle, got it over to Redden. Out in front of O'Brien, Webster right with him. O'Brien manages to keep it in. Then the palm off, Webster won't go away. The kick, hoping for Green, and it's just landed in.
Good result, 2-on-1, so he's had the little touch finder there. Josh Green just spending most of his time in that forward 50. His pace, he just puts pressure on the defence.
Leuenberger, great knock. Redden probably didn't need to throw the dummy there. That's wide. And away they go again. The slingshot from the Saints. It's been effective in this quarter. The fast break. The bounce. Suits Buick. Can't get free this time in the back.
Are out there, the Saints as well. Armitage involved.
Adcock through the middle. Rockcliffe. Handball a little bit behind. Hanley fancies himself from 50. The Irishman. He loves it here at the Gabba, and the crowd love him.
Heads up, have a look around.
Well, that was pretty well thought out there by Brisbane through the middle of the ground. They used the handball well. Just have a look here.
This is a free to Buick for pushing the back, really.
No, you can't do that, and they're very hot on it this year. It was accidental, but it was straight in his back. This was pretty clever by Rockcliffe here. Just gave it off to the right, gave it to the man who can execute beautifully with the foot, and just a great kick by Pearce Hanley. He's been lively again tonight in his first game back.
Well, he had a couple of fumbles early in the game, and his kicking wasn't good early in the game, so he's obviously having trouble with that hand. But now you look at his stats, you go, hang on, he's worked his way up to 21 disposals and 2 goals.
He's a gun, isn't he?
Again, a superb knock from Leuenberger to open up Redden. And again, Rockcliffe trying to be the architect. Gets a bad bounce, but can get up because no one came near him. And then just shorts it to Redden. Rockcliffe wants it again. Not going to get it. Redden forced to kick it up high into the pocket. Merritt.
Oh, big reach. Just no one's going near Tom Rockcliffe.
Well, Big Sauce has hurt himself here.
Oh, he hasn't hurt his shoulder as well, has he?
I think there might have been a boot. He might have landed on the boot.
Let's take a look.
Comes down here.
Good, strong jump and mark.
Is there something there?
Just maybe in the back, the knee in the back sort of thing. Just didn't land flat, did he?
Or he's probably just disappointed with the angle that he's got the shot from here. Big Sauce.
Pain.
Has hurt himself.
He doesn't want to kick the goal here.
And this is not too far away where he's having practice shots from with Rockcliffe before the game.
He's talking himself up.
He was practicing his left foot snaps.
Well, let's see what he can do for his third. Just went the drop punt, and it's shallow.
He did credit Ben Hudson for his goal kicking around the body on the left.
Bit of tongue in cheek, I think. Big Hutto. Now at Collingwood, Benny Hudson.
Very popular wherever he's been, Ben Hudson.
Yeah, he's a character.
Yep. On the way out, numbers for Brisbane. Zorko into the pocket. Merritt testing him again. Couldn't take it. Buick by hand. Back over to O'Brien. Hits the post. They've had one on either side. And almost something from nothing there from the Lions.
Inside out taught from O'Brien.
Yep.
But good work in from Buick. Just to get the ball back in play. And have a look at that one. Inside outer.
The inside outer.
But they're just under siege here at the moment, the Saints.
Just a little response from the Lions when after Del Santo's goal.
Just in play. Haven't been punished on the scoreboard. The ball certainly spent a bit of time in the forward 50. Buick just defensive sweeper, or Mays it is, from this contest.
McAvoy got in front there, was really good. Mays, Rich, couldn't get past Jones that time. He was right with him. Buick again, the quick hands, out in front of Rockcliffe. Got a call from Buick back inside. Got free, can kick it a long way. Fancies himself from 50, another behind.
Geez, good in tight, isn't he, Buick?
Yeah, he holds his feet and turns really quickly. Usually uses the ball a little better than that, but was under a lot of pressure. He's working hard. Also in this quarter, the youngsters for the Saints with Stevens and Armitage being very good.
Dempster did well to get all the way to the wing from that kick. Lee was there, spoiled. That was thrown by Hanley. McAvoy for the free, and he'll just want to dish off.
Take him out, Nick, take him out.
This is where they usually get a 50-metre.
Little chip pass from Del Santo to Saunders. He's got some speed and he quickly away, but it's a poor kick. An easy one for Pat Forward. Nick Revolt won't be happy with that delivery again.
No, you want just a half a chance to make a contest, and that was obviously overcooked by the youngster.
Kick from Yo was over the top of Adcock, but he's got time to wait, but he hasn't got a lot of options, so it's short back to Rich. First touch for the quarter. Jones has responded at half-time. Patfull went half a step. Rockcliffe. Big numbers again from him. Hanley Golby's out wide. That's where it goes. Mays into a little bit of a hole. Can keep going. Decides to just, well, now he's got to go. And he's running out of room quickly. Green sets it to the goal square. Staker or Merritt. Webster wrapped up by Maguire. And a good decision by the umpire.
Thank you. Yeah, Matt, give us footy. Just footy. Thank you.
Quick throw up.
Touch, play on.
Plenty of players around here. There's every chance to be rushed through, and it is.
But 6 straight in the second quarter, Brisbane. 6 goals, 0 points. This quarter now they've kicked 1 goal, 6. So from 11 inside 50s.
Moving it quickly again, the Saints. They're trying to get the break going. Donnell on the outer side can keep going. Decides to kick. Wanted Lee.
Let it go, guys.
And it's out of bounds.
Not sure that was the best option.
Oh, there's a
No,
big
could've kept
blowout
going.
here,
Oh,
boys.
it's big stink.
Let it go.
There's plenty happening in the centre half back.
Go out. Let it go.
Staker involved. Maguire's been spilling over. There's one on the chin.
Staker's not happy. Simpkin involved. Maguire there. Back with the action at St.Kilda going inside forward 50. Revolt's waiting. Ball bounces. Sipos crunched by Hanley. Down he goes and Hanley ends up with it. Back through the middle. Leuenberger. Man going past Adcock. Long ball. Merritt's got to run at it.
Oh,
Had a fair chunk of it.
And he's still got it. And he kicked the goal. 3 to Merritt. That one, a personal best, I think.
I think he's pulled off the back roll as well at the end of it. And just, again, St Kilda players just sore, bouncing out of contest. And Simpkin looks sore from that contest at centre half forward at the other end of the ground. Here's the big jump from Merritt. Dropped the mark and maintains his feet. Or back on his feet and slots it through. And here he goes. Little bit of celebration from Big Sauce.
That's a bit of the push and shove from earlier. And Staker and Simpkin involved.
both of them might have something to have a look at there.
Plenty to look at later on, but the Lions have responded. All of a sudden, the margin is back out to 26. It's the biggest it's been all game. Merritt going well up forward with 3 goals. Armitage busts through Mays. Tries to bust through O'Brien. Did so successfully. Saunders.
Oh, downfield.
Just
a little late from Redden.
Redden on Del Santo, and there'll be more push and shove.
Yeah.
But the recipient will be Lee to have a shot.
50 for the quarter, isn't it?
Yeah, it has. It certainly set up 3 forward 50 entries. Just a little late. Unnecessary. But this is critical for the Saints. They've got to slot this one. They've missed some chances.
It's a beautiful shot on goal too, Tommy Lee.
Oh, now you've backed him in.
He'll kick it straight over the goal umpire's head.
It's coming back.
Just.
It sneaks in, and it's a worthy kick.
Well, you're right. It was straight over the goal umpire's head, but the umpire was straddling the post. But no, really important. They've struggled to get out of their back line, just with the play on here to get the ball going forward. Good. Armitage has been very good. I think he's one player that has been really encouraging. There's been a few of them today. Just a free kick, but nice pass to Tom Lee anyway, inside 50. So no extra penalty. Outside, he kicked it straight in the goal.
First goal for Lee, margin back to 20. He gets a quick spell. 3.5 minutes remaining before 3/4 time. They've won the quarter by 4 points after that goal. Back in the middle, McAvoy up. Leuenberger waited for it. Hayes, so clever, so skillful. Opens Ray up. Wider Montagna. He was just waiting, and then he just chips it up high. Revolt can run at it. Crumbing Milne. Armitage is strong, and he can have a shot from 40. 2 in a row for the Saints, and it's just again, just when they've needed 2 in a row, they've just missed to the left or right.
Just think they've got to take those half chances. That was a really good setup. It was a chip kick to a contest to hopefully break even. And nice crumbing from Stevie Milne.
3-5 for the quarter for them too. So Brisbane have kicked 2-6 and St Kilda 3-5.
Patfull's long kick out. St Kilda 2-on-1. And the one wins. Poor kick from Doherty. Leuenberger pinched by McAvoy. Geary. Man to kick to is Armitage. And he can take it and go. It's just been the story of this third quarter is the rebound from the Saints from their back 50. Del Santo.
Well, Milne's on.
And Milne wants it. Del Santo forced to kick to the lead. Montagna plays on. He's kicked a couple. Kicks in the revolt direction. Also their lead. Good take.
Yeah, strong hands. A lot of pressure from defenders there. There's a really strong grab from a young player. And he looks like he's presenting really well. He's taken the last two inside forward 50 marks.
Yeah, he's deceptively tall, 194 centimetres, so just over 6'4", 6'4.5".
Caught one on the right ear from Patfull as well.
22-year-old. He's picked 12 or 13 to get him. He was on Adelaide's list, and he had a couple of years on Adelaide's list, and then went back to Claremont, kicked 60-odd goals back in the waffle, and he's a ready-made player that they've used a high draft pick to recruit.
And he kicks 2 in a row.
Really encouraging signs. They've had their fair share of the ball. They're sort of leading the possessions, but here's the patience from Del Santo. Held the ball up until Montagna presents, uses him, and Montagna just wheels and gets the ball in, turns, then looks to what's there, kicks the ball to a dangerous spot, and that was a really good matchup for the Saints. It was Lee on Golby was the matchup. Patfull come in to assist, keeps the head over the ball, slots it through.
Little purple patch from Tom Lee. He gets the Saints within 13. 2 in a row.
Round 12 last year, they were in the same position. Just that couple of goal margin, they did enough to get back and win this.
Little fumble from Redden, but he tapped it over to O'Brien. Rockcliffe squeezed it forward. Here comes Redden. Worked out of it, though, by Roberton. Handball back. Green will come at him quick. Forced to go quickly was Curran, and Rockcliffe worked his opponent under the ball, and Hayes pretty well there.
That's an unusual one. That was a hand in the back. That was a shove in the back. Just didn't get called.
Great kick.
Spotted a man on his own, Jesse O'Brien, and with a minute to go, this is a big kick.
Just quite unbelievable how O'Brien found that sort of space in the forward 50 without a man anywhere near him.
Rockcliffe 13 disposals for the quarter.
Just finding a lot of space, getting in dangerous positions as well. We spoke at half-time, probably his possessions in the first half wasn't really damaging, but he's got more damaging as the game's gone on.
O'Brien. First game for the season. Would love to kick it straight. It holds its line, and it's a crucial kick inside the last minute.
Third goal for Brisbane in this quarter. They've had plenty of chances, just haven't been able to put on the scoreboard. But
so the marking contest to here, there was a hand in the back from Rockcliffe, so that's a free kick. Lions are lucky to get away with that one. But now O'Brien finds all this space. He just runs from 60 metres out, and that's inexcusable for the Saints to leave that sort of space in that position on the ground. And O'Brien in his first games goes back and slots what's probably going to be an important goal.
Let him go to him, don't block him.
Just his fourth goal in his 16 games of AFL football.
Critical time also with Maguire in the ruck. The Saints need to capitalise on this with Leuenberger having a spell.
McAvoy does, wins the knock, and he might get the clearance himself. And a good spoil from Ahmed Saad. Ray came in. Here's Sipos at it. Rains. Sipos slipped it to Armitage. But his kick across the face. And they've had some opportunities, as Mark mentioned before. Waters down on the bench, talking to Nicky Dow, and we've only got a second to go. So they've cut this lead by a goal in this third quarter. But they are within range. 3 goals down. And they've been in this position before, St Kilda, and they've come back to win the game. The last 4 contests between these two sides have been decided by 13, 13, 14 and 16 points. And at 3/4 time, it's close once again. The Lions by 18. Well, here's the story so far. The first quarter was all about Jonathan Brown tearing the plantar fascia in his foot and down and out for the count without having an effect on the game. In the second quarter, little Josh Green got involved and got the Brisbane Lions going after a pretty slow start. That was bomb number 2 from Daniel Rich. He's averaging goals from 64 metres out. Bit of coaching from Brown to Merritt, and it's worked because Merritt's kicked 3 goals for the game. There's bomb number 3. Another 65-metre goal from Rich, and at half-time the Lions up by 4 goals. But the Saints came in that third quarter. The goal of the night, one of the best goals we've seen this season from Lee Montagna, and he was exhausted. He's been that good. He's had 26 disposals, but Hanley found himself in some space, and when the Irishman's clear, it's clear what he can do. He's got 2 goals. But the Saints have kept themselves in it. It's an 18-point margin, and they know how to come from behind and win here at the Gabba. It's 81 playing 63. What do you think, guys?
Well, there's still a bit of heat in it. We've seen some real contact out there in that third quarter. There's a couple of scruffles as well. Yep. So it's still game on. There's not much to play for, but the bodies are on the line. Let's
see what Michael Voss has to say. He's with Lee Colbert.
Vossy, the game's there for the taking.
Yeah, it is. Look, I mean, we're in the position to win the game, so it's just whether we're good enough to close it out.
Turnovers and just little mistakes have cost you. They've got you on the turnover a few times.
Yeah, free kicks, options that we shouldn't be taking. You know, in the end, we probably just need work a little bit harder. Just unfortunate, I think we've been a little bit too offensive and not worrying about our back end. So we've just got to make sure we straighten that up, especially through midfield.
And quickly, the skipper, just unlucky again.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully it's not too bad. So it looks like it's the bottom of the foot, so we'll assess that on Monday.
Thanks, mate. Good luck.
Well, we talked about the St Kilda have won here before in the last quarter, but this year the Lions have been very good in the final term.
And they've had a couple of cracking come from behind victories. Obviously, well down against the Geelong side here, North Melbourne as well. So they are pretty comfortable at this and in this position late in the game. But the team that uses the ball best in this last quarter will win. That plenty of missed opportunities for both teams in that third term.
Underway for the final quarter, and the ball's got to come back.
No contest. Andrew. Right on my side.
Up they go this time. Leuenberger flipping it out the back, but Lenny Hayes read it the best. He knew it was going there. And he managed to get boot to ball, which enabled Armitage to get the clearance, which pushes the Saints forward. Revolt comes out hard. Stevie Milne, oh, that's what he does best. Unfortunately, he's hooked it a little bit too far. It might have touched the post on the way through, and it's out on the full. And Stevie Milne just lost his dax.
Bit cheeky.
Come back behind your mark.
Just overcooked it, but it would have been just the start the Saints need. Again, Armitage involved.
Yeah, he's very good in close.
He's very good. Used to work in the merchandise shop here at the Brisbane Lions. I think they were pretty disappointed when he's gone south down the draft to the Saints.
That's a good stretch from Buick.
Move it on. Play on.
Watch Curry and him.
Long ball. Merritt got a good piece of it. Underneath all that, Curran. Kicked forward, but again, Buick in the way.
You can just hear the umpires talking about watch Curran and Hanley. They've been niggling at each other for most of this game. Curran just trying to minimise the influence of Hanley, who's been sensational.
So here's a repeat play. Buick, long ball up, looking for Merritt. Worked the second time. And he does likewise and wants Staker, who felt for the body.
Whoops.
And a push.
Fell for the body there, big shove.
Yep.
That's the strength of having a Daniel Merritt or Jonathan Brown or Nick Riewoldt in your forward 50 to take those big contested grabs when needed.
Look how hard the forwards work these days. Milne was the one having a shot at the other end. Now he's deep in the back pocket.
Yep.
And it's a clever kick just to let Ray run onto it, but he's tight on the boundary line.
Need to get it inboard if they possibly can. Otherwise, they're going to have to bail it out to the ruckman down the line.
And here it goes. But Lee's coming, and he's got it. Another strong grab, Tom Lee. He ran hard to get rid of Clark there.
He is impressive. 3 good marks in the last 20 minutes of play.
Yep. Little lead up from Saunders.
What are they going to do? They're going to try and switch?
There's not a lot of room out there to switch. He's got to find someone in the middle. And he does.
They're on here. They've got to pull the trigger. I just wasn't able to get it going quickly.
Trying to draw the man. Eventually does. Over the top to Webster. He punches it low, but punches it poorly.
Now you get it hurt the other way because your defenders had run offensively.
Kick from Hanley fell short. Geary cuts it off. So turnovers from both teams here. As Alistair said at the start of this quarter, it's the team who uses it best will win the game.
Or stands up in the last quarter.
Or just doesn't fall over. Jones. Geary. Sense of deja vu here from the Swans. For the Saints. It's even got me confused.
Both sides just can't penetrate through the middle of the ground, can they?
And that's the hard gut running late in the game. We're not seeing it from the midfield to get into that space on the wing for the transition kick.
Yo. Coming through Curran.
Holding the man, St.Kilda.
Usually
Curran with a free kick.
Usually it's because players are loose behind the play, but neither side's got a loose tonight across half back, so it's quite unusual.
It's a little bit messy at the moment. Now the Saints have a free man. Long kick up to the square. Revolt's there. Recovers by hand. Del Santo.
Again, just half chance. They're doing enough to win this game, the Saints.
Yep.
They're so far in this game, it's ridiculous, but they keep letting the Lions off the hook.
Well, they've had 24 touches to Brisbane's 5 in this last quarter, so just can't quite put the dominance on the scoreboard at the moment.
Kick from Doherty's a low one to a lead of Hanley. Similar kick from him down the line to Redden.
They have been a bit lapsed in their ability to pick up midfielders here in this transition. Too many times the Lions are finding a spare man that they can chip it around, and they're off the interchange bench.
Tommy Rockcliffe, he would have called that change himself. He said, Leuenberger standing there, I'm on. Another free kick to Armitage. He's tough. He's hard to tackle. And again, Saints trying to open things up here to Robertson. Milne will take on Green, but unfortunately he's kicked it straight to Patfull. He's got a bit of time. Kicks it out in front of Buick. Buick plays on. One man to kick to. And strong hands Maguire.
You got players on the far side in the corridor.
And he spots one or two. And backing back and called into it with Staker. Good talk from Hanley.
Well, that's almost that midfield run again, because Staker had drifted down from the midfield. Hanley was at the back there, where the Saints midfielders just weren't able to, or weren't prepared to actually run with those players. So they just drifted into the wide open spaces, 30 metres out, dead in front of goal.
He's had a knack this year of kicking goals in the last quarter to seal games. Done it a couple of times.
Sealed the Essendon game at Etihad Stadium in his return.
Yep. His ledger's not too bad. He's played 10 games this year, 5 wins, 5 losses. And he can go about this kick and put it on the positive side, or at least go a long way to getting there. And he does. He kicks his second, and the lead's out to 24.
Well, he's had to be a big target up forward without Jonathan Brown, and he's been moving around to give him a good shot. Here's Buick again, who's been lively today. Beautiful use of the ball. Maguire now moved forward. He's been in the ruck. He's been a full back. He's been everywhere. But he used the ball beautifully there to find Staker straight out in front of goal. And Staker in his 150th, got his left thigh heavily strapped. Kicks through another goal. And that's going to be hard for St Kilda to come back now. It's 4 goals.
He's got 2. He's got that thigh. He had a heavy knock in the first quarter, didn't he? So maybe a bit of a cork there.
He got smacked there.
Yeah.
Saints need a clearance here.
I need a quick reply.
Montagna to get on the end of the ball. Stephen to get ball in hand.
But Leuenberger just shoved it down Rockcliffe's throat. He gave it to Rich. Penetrating kick. Horrible bounce for the Saints. Falls for Merritt. Simpkin tried to tackle Maguire. Wasn't successful.
Oh, the
goose! You'd better believe it. He loves that.
Oh, he's getting the crowd involved.
360.
He's pumped. He's kicked a great goal. He's been in the ruck. The eyes rolled when he took on half of St Kilda there at one stage as well. And he's having a very nice game. Big fend. Then from 45 round the body. Thank you. Just slots that one through, and he's very happy.
Oh, look at the celebration here.
Just salutes to his teammates.
Who have I missed?
You blokes aren't going to give me enough. I'll go to the crowd.
Got a wedgie as well.
We haven't seen many better celebrations than that this season, have we?
He's enjoyed it. The first half of the season was pretty quiet up here, but the Lions and certainly Matt Maguire are really enjoying some good form of late.
So 2 very quick goals gets Brisbane out to the biggest lead of the day. Mays, Adcock, a good take on the up. Buick involved again. He's doing what a sub should do, get plenty of it. Not his best kick to Golby though. And they've turned it over, or have they? Big tackle from Buick. He went back to clean up his mess. Messy handball, though, from...
Oh, against Milne. You won't be happy with that one.
No. Harwood. Middle of the ground. There's a player running out wide for him in Yo. And he just chips it over to Leuenberger.
Yeah, they're just losing contact in the midfield now.
Oh, Rich.
Oh, look out.
Oh, he's too close to goal.
He's too close.
Oh, that's almost... That might have gone through from behind. Staker didn't complete the mark.
Juggled that one over the line. Good contested grab, though. Daniel Rich, inside 65, just didn't know which club.
He had no idea
He didn't kick through it. He tried to pull it back.
Actually, I don't think he had that club in the bag.
Gee, that's a free kick.
He pulled out the putter.
That was a free kick to Staker.
The arms around the body. They've got to risk the turnover, get up through the corridor now, the Saints. Have one last crack at this.
Sipos the target from the kick in. Yo probably should have gone for the spoil, went for the mark. McAvoy punched forward by Rockcliffe. Little take from Golby, opens up Rockcliffe again. Chip pass, can he find Maguire? Oh, good courage. Couldn't take it though. Montagna, Golby, Mays running out of room. Good pressure, Saints.
Good tackle too, not the drive into the back. Lenny Hayes. Not surprising, the experience to turn O'Brien in the tackle, not just drive him into the ground. Michael Voss looks reasonably relaxed. Wouldn't be relaxed inside just at the moment.
Stephen.
Oh, and that might help though.
Yeah, that does help.
St Kilda don't want to fall away in this last 13 minutes. It's 5 goals the difference now. They really need to just keep challenging, try and get a goal or two and get themselves back in the game. But they do not want to let Brisbane run away with this and have a 8 to 10 goal win.
Well, we've seen them kick a couple of quick goals at a couple of times tonight. So 2 quick ones. And there's still plenty of time. But a big switch here from the Lions. Rich. Adcock runs for him. Uses him. Gets within range. Gets to 50. Captain's kick. Just to behind.
They've stopped running. Absolutely stopped running. They've got to take the game on still. Work really hard over the next 5 minutes. After having a good start to this final term, just letting it slip.
Farron Ray. Searching kick. Donnell down in front looking for Stephen. Maguire's inspired at the moment after that goal. Rockcliffe got it from Green. Uses Mays, who uses Yo, who kicks inside 50. Not a clean take from Simpkin. Pressure still on. Geary. Armitage. Loved his game.
Yeah, very impressive. Actually played his football with Morningside in these St Kilda colours just down the road, probably about 5 or 6 kilometres from the Gabba.
Dempster on the switch, but it's been closed down pretty quickly by Staker. And kicks to a long lead. We could see from that camera angle that he put it out in front of Donnell, who, the outside of the boot, tries to screw it back, but only onto the chest of Rich, who wants to use a runner again, this time Patful. Again, Adcock enjoying himself off a half-back flag. This time decides to pass. Staker.
Well, tougher kick than his last shot at goal. That was 20 metres out. This will be kicking from 50 metres out, right where the 50-metre line meets the boundary. So a very tough kick.
It's fair to say he hasn't considered giving it off, though.
No, absolutely not. And why would you when you're 5 goals up in your 150th? He's kicked 2. He wants another one.
So Jonathan Brown convert one from this very spot. Last game here at the Gabba.
What do you think, Lynchy?
Nah, just short. Short left.
Gets inside the 50.
Have some faith.
And celebrates game 150 with a beauty. He's got the knack. He can kick a goal in the last quarter.
Yeah, they don't seem to miss from that pocket these days. That was a beautiful kick. Just see the turnover again. This is where they've really been punished, the Saints. Turnover across half-back. Again, the overlap run. Plenty of spare players running through the corridor. And good pass, albeit a little wide, but when Brent Staker's kicking them like he does here from 49 metres on the boundary line, didn't look like missing off the slipper.
4th time he's kicked 3 goals for the Lions, 3 times this season. Yet to kick 4 in his 40 games for Brisbane.
It's their 8th goal from turnovers as well for Brisbane, so really making St Kilda pay when they turn the ball over in the middle half of the ground.
Here's Maguire again.
Just running through the midfield now. just the defensive pressures dropped right away.
Well, the Goose and a few others are just licking the ice cream at the moment at the end of the game here.
Two traditional defenders have just started to stake their claim in the forward 50. Goose, he's already thinking about his celebration.
Well, I don't think he can beat the celebration of the last goal. I don't think he can. Even if he just slots this straight through.
Wouldn't it?
I'll give him a chance.
For his second,
he's
done the right thing by everybody.
Yeah, back to full-back, Goose.
Back to full-back.
Been a very good player tonight, but back you go.
1 metre, Daniel. Don't hold.
McAvoy in good position, but Merritt flipped it down towards Del Santo. Busts the tackle. Gets it back from Lenny Hayes. Runs out of defence, tumbles it forward. No one to kick to. Adcock, little give. And 1-2 from Leuenberger. And Adcock is inspired in this last term. He wants a goal. He's going to kick it long again. Merritt over the back. Zorko, the magician, hasn't got involved yet. And now he has.
Well, it's getting a bit ugly here. That's 4 goals to nothing in this last quarter now for Brisbane. And St Kilda had, at one stage, they were 25 disposals to 5. And since then, it's just been dominance by Brisbane. They've had 50 possessions to about 15, and they've kicked 4 goals. They've had 10 inside 50s to 3. So this is shaping like a blowout here. This is exactly what Scott Waters doesn't want. They didn't kick a goal in the last half last week, and they're goalless here in the last quarter at the moment.
He's done a good job on Zorko, Geary. It's his first goal for the night.
I think he felt he was a little harshly done by there in that marking contest, and I think Dane Zorko acknowledges, I gave you a fair push under the ball there, but you got to hold your feet.
Must admit, the scoreline now is a surprise.
It is,
given how hard fought the contest was for the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, Saints for the first 3 quarters don't deserve to be in this position, but they've just ran out of legs. They have not got the run to actually go with the Lions, and the Lions isn't your deepest midfield going around, but they just can't keep up at the moment.
And they worked it well there, the Saints. It was Sipos who got a hand on it to get the boundary throw in. There's the time in the forward half for this quarter. It's 3-1.
Montac. Well, someone's been dropped behind the play here. Jake Stevens
Rains.
put the old tagger on his back.
You'd suggest that might have been a square up. It's probably unfair of Rainsy, but
well, he's coming for him
he
too.
plays it tough. She's on.
He wasn't happy with it, Rains, but we'll go with the action.
You watch the footy, we'll watch the stink.
I've got the ball with Dempster. And a handball, searching forward for Armitage.
Whoops.
Armitage gets it back. Long kick out, the long lead from Revolt. Patful with him. Still in play though. Sipos slides in. Armitage almost out on his feet, but look at that, he kept it going forward. He's so tired, Armitage, he can hardly keep going.
That's been a good contest. We saw Revolt and Patful running towards the ball, and Revolt's worked really hard, but just hasn't been able to impact the scoreboard. Just the 2 behinds, 11 disposals. Patful's worked very well.
Jack Stephen with a rip jumper out of all of that. Patful. Rains. Doherty. Here the Redheads. Green and Merritt. Green hoping for a miracle. Kept it in. Ran out of support players though. Mays comes in. So does O'Brien. Little chip pass. Hoping for Buick. Saunders to clean up for the Saints. Geary. Going past Ray. Sipos to Del Santo. And they run it out again. This time Del Santo's got an option. It's Sard. Hard running Revolt.
He looks like he needs to go to the paddock, Big Nick, doesn't he? Looks a bit tired, the big fella.
Just got it inboard to Milne, who just somehow just around the corner. Del Santo and Rockcliffe, one-on-one there, coming in to help out Sard. Never ball up.
A lot of questions about who's going to play on next year or not. Stevie Milne certainly fits that category, doesn't he? It's been a great career, but...
one of the elite small forwards in the competition over the last couple of decades.
Lee out of the contest. And going back Doherty just on the last line, saving it.
Still, mate.
And then Staker's his target on the way out.
Back to him, back a metre, Dylan. Back a metre, play on.
Adcock again.
Play on.
Showing real run in this last quarter. Kicked it up high. He's going to ask a bit of Mays. Came in over the top of Lee, but Lee first to it. Ray, Jones. Now Lee again. Up to Lenny Hayes. And he has a player presenting for him. Almost 50 against Hanley on Curran.
A little lucky to get away with that one.
Yep.
Was. No doubt he meant to give him a little shove. Disguised it well enough.
Curran off the outside of the boot to Revolt.
Oh,
Was that a...
Let him go. Let him
a
go.
late spoiling attempt, let's say, from his former teammate.
Where you are is the mark.
Wouldn't mind another look at that one.
I reckon you do, Roo.
Right,
Right on the-
roundhouse.
Right on the beak.
Here we go. Oh, open hand.
Open hands are certainly going to help him. I think he tried to hit the ball out, which would have been 50 metres.
Yeah.
Smack on the chops.
So Revolt, 2 behinds tonight. That's a very tough kick. Right to the line. It's a
No
beauty.
way.
Fantastic goal from the champ.
With the sore snout and the watery eyes, he's slotted that one from the boundary line. That's an outstanding grab. Grab and mark and kick for goal. This is the weighted kick out in front of Nick Riewoldt. Jumps, gets one on the chops, and just thinking, oh, hang on, from 53 metres. I think I can see the goals. That's a fantastic kick from that pocket. A tough one. He's had another great season. It's been a hard night for all the forwards for the Saints.
Set up. Daniel out of the circle, please. Thank you.
He's had to work extremely hard tonight. Hasn't got a lot of service. Kicked a beautiful goal there. His first for the night. Margin back to 38. Nice handball from Rockcliffe to Rains to Rich to Redden. All the R's involved. Mays, high ball up. And reading it best, Geary. And switch again. Dempster. Montagna. Took his time. Now kicks to a contest. Well read, front and square, Curran. And here comes Lee. Rich trapped it nicely to Doherty, to Harwood. Rains, Maguire from outside 50. Staker's got to come late. And very good hands, Dempster.
Yeah, under siege. Dempster's he's done a great job over the last couple of years down there. Undersized, played on the big players. Another good mark under pressure.
Milne just tried to tap it down in front, realised the situation. Harwood.
They can switch it here, they got a number.
And that's where they head. Mays. A bounce. And he's going to take on Armitage. And hook it back towards O'Brien. Good mark over the top, Robertson.
52 inside 50s to 44.
Ray, just Lee.
I think Scott Waters won't be happy with the end of the game when he looks at the stat sheet. You got Del Sando with 29, you got Armitage up there with 28, Montagna with 28, Hayes with 22, Farron Ray, Clint Jones. They're all the high position winners are all the older players.
I think that's the concern when you look at how long it's going to take the Saints to move back up into finals contention. Is the depth of talent coming through. Certainly Armitage and Stephen look like they're good midfielders. I like the look of Lee. He might go on his second chance to be a player.
Sipos draws the player, gets Donnell into the game. His kick out looking for Milne. Wanted to take him on. Del Santo, good take off the outside of the boot. Well, he just hasn't had a good night in front of goal. He's had plenty of possession, as Mark just mentioned, but he's kicked 1-3.
Like both teams didn't take their chances in the third quarter, but if the Saints take their chances, like these half chances here, that's more than a half chance though. That should be a drop punch straight through. And they didn't lose Stanley. It certainly stacks up, but you can mount the other argument that sort of the Lions have missed their chances and lost Jonathan Brown.
So 3.5 minutes remaining. It's Brisbane by 37.
Set, Tom. Play on.
And again, the big switch. Kicks a little bit behind Redden.
The Saints defenders are happy to sag right off and allow this switch. Then they push up. But the switch, Harwood takes the mark, player pushes up. Same with here. The Lions are patient to go around until something opens up, and predominantly through the midfield, after a few chips around, something will open up, especially in this second half.
Saints have been doing that all year. I think they concede the most amount of uncontested marks in the competition. So,
real defensive mentality to protect the back half, but it doesn't work. Teams switch the ball really well.
Got to try and cause the turnover a bit more.
So, as you guys have so correctly described, they've just worked it round with 7 passes. And Rockcliffe goes back to Rains, and they might think about the corridor just yet. Leuenberger runs for Rains. Couldn't take the mark. Nice work, Webster. Then backed himself to go. Armitage, Donnell. Up and under it a bit. Well spoiled revolt. Patfull looked as though he had it covered. Armitage. Great strength, great speed. Can bring his captain into it. Can he get 2 in the last quarter? Revolt from 45. Kicks it. 2 for the skipper.
He hung in there, Nick Revolt, and the eyes lit up when Armitage attacked the ball really well again. It's been pretty slow old ball movement from the Saints in most times, but great attack on the ball from Armitage. Goes through, takes possession, a couple of missed tackles that Vossi would be disappointed with, and Rue just had enough time to straighten up. Didn't have a lot on at that kick, but got the journey, and richly deserved goal for Nick Revolt after another big night working hard up the ground. He's had a great match-up, great contest with Joel Patfull.
For me, Armitage has been the Saints' best player.
I reckon he's one of the real ones that stand out that could go to an elite midfielder. I think they've been waiting for it for a few years. He's shown some signs. He's just got to take his work and his work ethic up to another level.
Del Santo, I mean, he's had plenty of possession, so has Montagna, but 15 contested possessions for Armitage. In close, he's been solid and tough. And the Lions just mucking around with it here, so Saints a chance for another one. Armitage, Golby. Is Armitage back up with it?
He's picked O'Brien up.
Yep.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Push up, keep looking late.
Margin got out to 44, and the Saints have kicked the last 2.
Thanks, David. Thanks, David. Thank you.
Both to Captain Revolt.
Matthew, just hold 1 metre.
Farron Ray, the 3rd man up. Zorko got through some traffic and then just a bit of a fumble. Harwood, little chip to Buick. Just over a minute remaining. Maguire leads up, and there's no one behind him. And the Saints maybe to finish with 1 more. Donnell's got a bit of space and a bit of time to think his way through this. Goes to the pocket. Golby with the spoil.
Lee Montagna just got one on the end of the fingers there on a cool night here in Brisbane now. Bit of a sting, but the sting has certainly gone out of this game, and a disappointing finish for the Saints. The Lions will be pretty pumped to get another win, 4 in a row up here at the Gabba.
Yeah, they've made it hard to win up at the Gabba of late after it was pretty easy for most teams visiting.
Yep.
This is Dylan Roberton. Former Docker sends it up high, right for a contest, and that is how you spoil through the goals.
Good spoil, straight through.
Aaron, just a blue dot, mate. Yep.
Stevie Milne just tried to position Dane Zorko out of the contest. He did really well. So's Harwood. Harwood's been pretty good back there.
Yeah, he looks all right, doesn't he? Redden's at another 30.
O'Brien now just taking his time as the clock ticks down. Margin was 4 goals at halftime. Good take, Merritt. 3 goals at 3/4 time. It's now 5 goals, and if someone takes a mark like Maguire, it could be 6. Over the back, punch through, and we'll have a behind. Maguire wants a free kick.
Tap through. No, that's fine.
Yeah, another good grab. He's taking some good grabs tonight, Daniel Merritt. Playing
pretty
predominantly
good, hasn't
up
he?
in the forward half.
Got 3 goals, 18 touches,
Went through
7 marks.
Filled the void with Brown going off.
Lions win. In a hard-fought victory, got it out to 44 points, but in the end, they've won by 31, and they lost Jonathan Brown very early in the game. But the scoreboard probably doesn't tell the story of how close this game was, certainly for 3 quarters.
Absolutely. It was just before 3-quarter time. It was a pretty close contest, and it came back to 13 points. And Scotty Waters, for the most part, would like what he saw out there. They just didn't use the ball efficiently enough, especially going inside forward 50. Didn't take their chances in that 3rd quarter, and then just really started to get opened up through the centre corridor, and their midfield just got chopped to shreds, which was disappointing for the Saints. But the Lions, they worked really well in a convincing win in the end.
We saw a big celebration tonight after a goal. That was Goose Maguire. Here he is with Colby.
Goose, looked like you enjoyed that, mate, against the old team. I think you certainly were well and truly in the action most of the night.
Yeah, mate, it was nice to slip forward and snag a couple. To the Saints' credit, they keep coming, and we knew that we were going to have to really fight it out right at the end, but it's nice to be able to contribute and beat the old wife.
Half back, half forward, you're in the ruck, you even whacked Rui on the nose and had a laugh about it.
But yeah, Rui and I, old mates, mate, he was good enough to slot it though, so no, it was just great to be out here. The boys are really building some good form, and we just want to finish off the end of the season strong and really make this a fortress again. So we've been able to do that. 4 wins on the trot here, which has been great.
And kicked the goal too, a nice goal, gave the crowd a little salute, and then shanked one.
Oh, look, that's a defender's life, isn't it? But I'm very excited to kick my first goal for the Lions. It's been 4 years coming, so mate, it's just good fun. It's good fun playing footy.
I can't even concentrate looking at you with that mouth guard in, and I know there's a gag behind it. Can you tell us what it is?
Nah, just the boys take the gas because, mate, I've got it in all the time. Just you got to practice using your voice with the mouth guard in. So just always trying to get better, Colby.
You got no teeth. That's what it is, Goose. Thanks for your time.
Good on you, Colby.
See you, brother.
Cheers.
Yeah, terrific bloke, and very happy to be here. Very happy to kick his first goal for the Lions. As he said, a long time coming, and boy, did he celebrate.
He did, and richly deserved. He's had to work really hard to get back into footy after that horrific injury at the Saints that finished his career at St Kilda. Has worked his way back into some good form up here, and an important part of the back half for the, or maybe it's the forward half for the Brisbane Lions.
He's one of the real characters of footy. He'd be a great club man, and I've been away on a few Toyota trips with him on the bus doing coaching clinics, and he's the life of the party. And you saw his big eyes there popping out when he was trying to intimidate the opposition. But he's a ripper.
We had Tommy Rockcliffe mic'd up before the game, and he was having a bit of fun in the warm-up, and he's had some fun tonight. 39 disposals, almost his personal best of 40. Here he is with Lee.
Yeah, we'll get some sense out of you, Tom. We got nothing out of that last bloke, but mate, a pleasing win. It was a tough-fought win. At different times they came at you, didn't they?
Yeah, we always knew it was going to be, and credit to St Kilda. They've been a good club for a long time now, and their midfield's probably their key. So we thought if we could get on top in that area, but they probably fought hard all night, and it was a really hard-fought battle inside.
Changing the guard almost from both teams. You know, obviously you got Simon Black and John O'Brien who are coming towards the end of their careers, and alternatively so to the Saints. But will we see Blackie and Brownie next year, do you think?
I'm not sure. That's up to them, I suppose. It'd be hard to push either of them into retirement, but it depends how their bodies are holding up. And at the end of the day, they're legends of the game, and we love seeing them every week. So if they're available every week, we'd love to have them out here, but that's just the way it goes. So hopefully they go again, but that's not my decision.
What about Dan Rich? We watch him inside 75 metres. He just pings little one-irons.
Yeah, there's no point running past for the handball, is there? Richie's a gun, and we've got to look after him a bit more. We went in the game focused on that, and we think we did it tonight, and he got off the chain a little bit. I think he kicked 3 or 4 goals, so that's what we want from Richie. He's the one that can sort of break the lines in the midfield and kick the long goals.
And you stitched a couple of the boys up before the game with the mic on. You got Manny Lynch pretty well.
Yeah, got Manny, and I hope he's got halves in the change rooms. He said he was the best centre half back of the 90s, so he reckons make sure you play that one.
Well, you're able to focus during the game, mate. Well done, and thanks for your time.
Good on you. Thanks. Good on you, mate.
Yeah, he's in a good vein of form, isn't he? 39 disposals, 6 times this year he's hit the 30 mark, and as I mentioned before, just one off his personal best of 40 disposals in a game of football. But the Lions, well, they have won another one here at the Gabba, and they've won 4 of their last 6 games, and they've defeated St Kilda by 31 points. We'll take a break. Alistair and Mark to wrap up the game right after this.